I meant like topic wise. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Honor. We're here. You got me. You got Devin. We are back, and
I think we have to start with the thing that's forward in our minds.
So me and Devin have been talking for a minute before we started this podcast. I don't know if I never let the welcome in, sink in. But everybody, welcome back. But we got some things to talk about. We got a lot of topics. We got so many topics that I had to take like half of them and push them until Monday.
Sure.
Because I was really worried that these last couple episodes before the season started were going to be a little dry, and they're the complete opposite.
It's the opposite. We're getting into real territory now.
So we have things like some drama going on with Dallas. I got a couple NBA topics, a couple scenarios. We got obviously Brandon Aiyuk finally getting signed, Gator game preview, some more NBA, some roster cuts in the NFL. But I think the one thing that everybody in the sports world has been talking about in the last 24 hours, everything, the one thing that everybody has been,
raving about, but in my opinion, honestly, shouldn't be talked about at this level.
Ooh, I'm sorry. That was a cougher right there, but
that was a heave-ho.
That was, but it's Colorado versus North Dakota State.
Of course.
So how do we even begin? Because there's so many things I want to get into with this game and the narratives being pushed in this game, and just takeaways from this game.
My first thing is that if you didn't know who Colorado was supposed to be, you would think that they're an FCS team. You would think that they're a low-level FBS team. You would think that they're 100th ranked. You would not think that they are who they are supposed to be.
Okay. I 100% agree with you. And I also just want to say the top bullet point I wrote down. From a broad view, this is what I wrote down. I said, from a broad view, it's a very competitive game between North Dakota State and Colorado.
Exactly. That's all it is.
But
one of those teams is dropping millions on their team and supposed to be a top 25, if not a now 12-team playoff contender, which they looked nothing of. Nothing.
Devin, one of those teams.
There's one player on that team who I thought was impressive, or overly impressive.
Oh, well, we'll get to him. There's one team that is covered and viewed more than any college football team right now.
Yep.
And the other team had nameless jerseys.
Yes. Literally nameless jerseys.
No names on the back of their jerseys.
I know. I thought that was hilarious. Also, don't have the ability to use in-game headsets because they are an FCS team.
And we're an FCS school playing a. Well, it's not even Pac-12 anymore.
Well, they're Big 12 now.
They're Big 12 now.
Which now makes it harder for them. So
that's the first thing. We got to stop pretending. When I say we, I mean everybody that's gassing up Colorado in this game. It's Colorado versus North Dakota State.
Yep.
Every top team already I've seen, it's not even Saturday yet. Oklahoma was winning 37-3.
Mocked them.
You got all these.
This is supposed to be a tune-up game.
Like when we'll get to the Gator game, it's a big deal that the Gators have to open up the season with a rivalry game.
A ranked Miami.
Florida State was supposed to wipe Georgia Tech. It really wasn't supposed to be that much of a problem.
Mm-hmm. And then, but what happens to Florida State? Yes, obviously they lost and Colorado won, but now we look at Florida State like they're like a poverty franchise.
Oh, they're trash. Like they have no chance of being in playoff contention.
Agreed.
I saw takes go as far as after this game, Shador is going to be the starting quarterback next season for the Cowboys.
That I don't even want to. That's
no. These are conversations being had by people paid to talk about sports on TV.
Who?
Let me put I
LaShawn McCoy?
no. This was if I have to pull it
Either
up
way,
right
that's
here.
horrendous. I did see what RG3 said. RG3 said that Shador is not a top 5 pick. Travis Hunter is not a top 5 pick. They're both in contention to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah, well, there's also a reason why he got fired from ESPN.
Exactly.
I can't find who it is, but it was I think it was ESPN. It was some type of analyst saying, "Well, I think he's gonna be the next starting quarterback for the Cowboys." Like he'll be more likely to be the starting quarterback for the Cowboys next season than Dak Prescott.
False.
Shador Sanders, and I'm gonna say this: I try my very best to look at this game from a very unbiased perspective. And I think I did a good job of it.
Now, it was difficult due to who was speaking about the game, which was the most abhorrent commentary I've ever seen of a football game in my entire fucking life. What the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so basically 2 Colorado fans were commenting.
No, it was 2 Deion Sanders fans. It had nothing to do with the College of Colorado. It was 2 guys, Glaze and Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders.
That's the thing. Everybody is Colorado fans now. But the thing is,
but anytime there was a penalty against NDSU, now there were some bad calls in this game.
Oh, there were some terrible calls in this game.
There were some horrible calls, but they were harping on the ones that they got wrong about NDSU, and then they were pushing off the ones about Colorado.
Oh, that's a good pushing off. Did you mean to say pushing off?
Yeah, because Travis Hunter pushed the fuck off. And when they cut to commercial, it was hilarious. When they cut to commercial, obviously Travis pushed off, and they said it was a no call, and they said that Travis Hunter is catching touchdowns and throwing away defenders. It's like he threw them away before the pass. Now we're admitting that that's not a cool thing to.
Well, I mean, and we'll get in. I want to have a real because there's plenty of positive talk about Travis that we're about to have. But one of the touchdowns Travis Hunter had, not the final one of the best catches
the final one was
in my life.
Great, yeah.
But the one before that, I mean, he took bro, threw him out, and then catches it. It's like I didn't know when you could. I didn't know when, and everybody's like, weight room. It's like no. Like
that's while the ball's in the air. That's not allowed.
Like there's rules, and it's like no. If we're making it pretty much impossible for NFL players to tackle, we're gonna still make sure simple penalties are being called.
It's not like he 2-hand shoved him. It was a full right arm extension, which usually gets called or should be called.
Which one are you talking about?
The one in the back right corner where he pushes him off.
Pushes his head?
Was it a head or was it a shoulder?
Because you're not the touchdown.
Oh, then I don't know.
I'm talking. Are you talking about a touchdown?
I'm talking about a touchdown where he pushed off.
You're not talking about the one that I sent to you over the phone yesterday that we were talking about. That I sent because there's one where he pushes him off, catches it, but then he's out at the 4.
Okay, well I saw the one where he pushed him in the end zone. Okay,
well there's one in is he in the back of the end zone?
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I have to rewatch it or you have to rewatch it. It looks like it doesn't look like it's a extension because I know what type of extension you're
talking about. It was a swipe. I think it was a one-hand swipe.
We might have to review it was
from what I remember.
It seemed more of a pulling the chair out, I'm pulling you back.
Now they were hand fighting, but as that ball went up and as he went to go turn for it, he turned and threw him out.
But the reason I was saying the main reason I wanted to be unbiased watching this game was for the sake of Shador.
Agreed.
And I just wanted to be honest about how I felt about his performance without seeming like a hater.
Mm-hmm.
But this is such a hard game to judge and base your.
Agreed.
People are making draft predictions off of this.
This to me feels like what happened last year against Colorado State, where it's like, yes, this is a competitive, good game. It was a great game. But the problem is that this is not the competition he is supposed to be playing.
This was an FCS school.
Exactly.
North Dakota State, their defensive
Like,
backs.
no one lets Trey Lance play football because he went to an FCS school.
Their DBs were horrendous.
Who? Oh my God.
North Dakota State.
All right, we'll get to that in a second, but
I'm talking about when we're talking about, okay, Shedeur threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's like, yeah,
watch the game.
He also,
they were wide fucking open.
But how many more times this year is he going to, in his first 6 plays, throw for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns?
Agreed. Yeah. Also, when he was making plays late in the game, he shouldn't be in that position against North Dakota State. He shouldn't be in a position to drive down the field and score a game-winning touchdown.
Oh, Devin, what everybody's ignoring is the fact that this game was 5 yards away from being a different outcome.
4, or wherever the fuck he caught that ball.
That's what I'm
saying,
Devin.
The fucking Hail Mary. Also, sure, there was a Hail Mary, but it was incredibly closer than that. There were certain calls that went certain ways, certain plays that went certain ways. That game could have gone either way real quick.
That clock, the way the referees were managing that clock, they were.
Well, initially they had it down to like 22 seconds, and I don't know, it was bad.
They were doing everything they could to make sure Colorado was going to win that football game.
Agreed.
But what I'm saying is, it's just, this cannot be. Shedeur Sanders is supposed to be a Heisman candidate. He's supposed to be a top 5 guy, and he had a lot of moments where he was struggling.
Well, yeah, and obviously their offensive line isn't great. It wasn't great last year. And
I'm starting to think it's deeper than that, Devin.
No, it 100% is, but just generally their offensive line is not good.
I don't know how bad their offensive line is, because I don't know a quarterback that holds onto the ball longer than Shedeur Sanders.
That is true. I
need you to understand that Shedeur Sanders, 1 out of 4 times, maybe he will find it's and I don't want to sound too casual, but it's almost like Madden, where you scramble around enough and you might be able to play make and find a guy, a broken coverage.
When you've got 2 of the fastest guys in college football, can we bring up the name Jimmy Horn?
What are you talking about?
The receiver of Colorado?
What can I bring it up? You can.
Well, and how fucking he, at least in this game, was so fucking wide open that if Shedeur missed any of these throws, he had up 200 yards received. Dude, he was wide the fuck open just about every play. He's faster than fuck. Travis is obviously fast as shit. Travis should not play defense.
We'll get into that too. But just with Shedeur, there are so many moments in this game, because you can look at the stats and easily go, "Oh, bro's top in the Heisman race." If you watch the entire game, there were so many moments where it's like, "Oh yeah, no, this was like an ACC. No, excuse me, this was like an SEC school or whatever." It's like, you're fucked. You're not getting this many opportunities.
Fuck no.
Down.
Fuck no.
To come back into a game.
When you're playing at Georgia, you have to play perfect football. They're not even fucking remotely close. They're struggling against NDSU.
And mind you, they were losing at half. North Dakota State played
terrible in the second half.
And still.
North Dakota State also fucked their head coach for taking out.
Oh my God, and that too.
Cam Miller was a fucking dog the whole game. I mean, making great plays, running like a motherfucker, and then you throw in this Goodwill fucking Tim Tebow like he's gonna do some shit, and then the whole time he's supposed to be out here running the ball, the motherfucker's trying to pass and then going for a run, getting beat the shit out of. It's dog shit. Cam Miller looked good. The fact that Cam Miller looked good against a team that is supposed to be top 25. He looked really good.
Shout out to whoever used the perfect word. They used the perfect word. They said, I'm not going to lie, Colorado's secondary looked very suspect.
Suspect as fuck. Their D-line looks suspect as fuck.
All around, yes. They are going to have to make a lot of improvements to to be even close to playoff contention.
But my thing is they kept trying to separate Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Like his dad didn't build this team for Shedeur. Like the fact that yes, Shedeur on paper played well and made some plays and shit. Fine. But we're still talking about Colorado football, and the team as a whole sucks.
Yes, but
we
also
can you can talk about Shedeur, but talk about him a part of this team.
But like with Shedeur, what I wanted to say was, with him holding onto the ball so damn long, his receivers might find some broken coverage at some point. But those other three out of the 4 times, he is taking sacks.
Yep.
He is taking sacks. He is holding onto that ball as long as possible, trying to make a play, taking a sack. And every
now,
and
he didn't
every
take
time
that many sacks, but he did take the most amount of sacks last season, which was like 50 something.
And I would and did I watch as much Colorado as I will this season? Sadly, no. But I would love to go back and see how many of those sacks were him holding onto the ball for 6 or 7 fucking seconds after the sack. Because I'm telling you, Devin, we sit here and just get told like, oh, yeah, he gets sacked this many times, his line sucks.
Yeah.
And then you watch it and it's like, no. And it's like, I get it. I'm not even trying to hate. It's like, bro has the potential, the talent, the skill to make a play, but you just got to know when to do it.
Like
when
to
give it up.
When you're playing what was concerning was like when you're playing a very good team, especially with their offensive line, like NDSU's D line is nowhere near a top 25 ranked team's D line. So you're not going to have that much time to throw the ball. You're not going to have wide open coverages. Like the fact that NDSU's secondary was holding up and honestly locking some of these guys down. It was concerning, and it's kind of what I expected, but at the same time I was hoping to see a team that looked better than last year. Like you've had a whole year and you've made no improvements generally.
And to cap off Shedeur, it's like, okay, the numbers, the highs of the game. All right, I'll take it. Versus a team like North Dakota State, who you had no expectations of them coming in and doing anything to Colorado, and Travis Hunter and Shedeur should have put up these type of numbers. But there's something either, I don't know. It's like I can't tell if it's like I can't tell what it is. There's things about Shedeur's game where it's like there's times where it's like, did he not take off because he's just not that athletic?
Sure.
Or it's like you'll see a great throw, and then it's like, okay, it's like he was wide open. It's like he definitely should complete those throws. And then you see one which, oh my God, them commentators tried their hardest. The football gods. No, keep saying Travis. Shedeur threw a ball into the ground and it bounced off someone's foot. This wasn't.
Yeah, no. Like
football...
that was not that pick was not like, yes, it bounced off his leg, but it wasn't this miraculous accident that happened. Well, he threw a terrible football.
Yeah, it was a bad throw,
There were open guys in the end zone that he could have thrown the ball to.
And they just constantly were just trying to remind the fans, like, and remember, like, when you see that one interception, it was not like it's not Shedeur's fault. Trust me.
He threw it at it would have hit the goal line.
If Lamar Jackson threw a ball at the fucking ground, people would be calling him a running back again. So I don't want to hear a goddamn thing.
The problem about Shedeur is that he's not good enough of a runner to be called a running back.
But I just versus a top 25 team, versus an SEC team, versus a top 10 team, versus you let them sneak into the playoffs and let them play a playoff contender, a team in playoff contention. I just don't see.
But then they go and they try to cover up what happened last season. They talk about how at USC, when there was all that garbage time bullshit, when they were down 42-9 or 42-0, and then came back. And they were like, yeah, that was a loss by Colorado, but to no fault of Shedeur. It's like, no, you didn't play well enough in the first half to make it a real game.
Yeah.
So you got a shit ton of garbage time points. But the game was not close. They also lost to
Stanford
Stanford last year. They lost 6 straight. They hadn't won since October last year. They haven't won a game since October.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the best player on Colorado in the country. He's the best player in the country. I mean, bro,
we can say that now, sure,
bro. And this is where it's like we might start to separate in terms of like bias. Like I'm not too biased in terms of like just like being a hater. Like I can admit, like no, Travis Hunter he's the best player in the country.
Well, Travis Hunter was a 5-star who was supposed to go to an SEC team, but instead picked Jackson State.
Now I want to get like all of this out and see if we can cover all the grounds. Yes, it is very impressive that Travis Hunter is able to play on both sides of the ball.
Agreed.
Yes, he's a fantastic athlete. He burns 4,500 calories a game, and he does cryotherapy and this and that.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, he's already set up for the pros because he does red light treatment and cryo.
Yeah. It's like that is beautiful. It's fantastic.
What does he do on the field?
He has a 4.0 GPA. If he stepped off the field and wanted to go get any job he wanted in any field, okay, sure, whatever.
Congratulations.
It's great. Mm-hmm. I know I sound sarcastic. It's like it's cool. It's like yeah. But when we're talking in terms of the NFL and being worth millions of dollars, and just simple as your body being able to take as much as it is taking now, like there's just a lot of dumb people online that they praise it just how I did. Mm-hmm. And then they double down and make it really dumb. And they go, It's like, I can't wait for him to do this in the NFL.
No.
And it's like, well, why wouldn't he be able to do it in the NFL? He's been doing it his whole career. It's like, no, that's the thing. How many more years do you think he'd be able to? It's like, sure, for maybe
like this isn't
like maybe for 2 seasons he could put up a case for being able to play that on both sides. But players in the NFL play one position and burn out in 2 to 3 years.
Exactly. Even guys who are touted to be the best in the world. But my problem is, it's like you're good at both. Clearly, you're a better receiver than you are a DB.
Oh, he's the best receiver in the country for sure.
Agreed.
It's ridiculous.
Now Jimmy Horn is faster than fuck. Their other receiver who put up 200 yards or whatever the fuck.
And
he's also faster than shit.
And I also don't want to like shit on it too much. The catch. Sure. It was on a corner that he was destroying the entire game.
Exactly.
I don't want that to take away from anything, because I mean, when you watch that play, I mean, I'm watching it, and I even because like, bro, it's like I'm like we're haters. Like I'm watching it, and I watch Travis like he's pointing to himself. He's
agreed.
And I like I said this out loud. I'm like, nah. I'm like, you're not. You ain't calling your own number. You're not calling your shot. And then Shador, I mean, it's just. Yes, it was beautiful. It's out of movie. But if you're playing the University of Georgia and they watch Travis Hunter go, and Shador immediately goes,
you're getting dumped. You're getting cracked. You're getting the shit cracked out of you.
I don't want to sound like a hater, but it's just
it's not hate, because the thing is, if a Georgia receiver was playing a tune-up game against NDSU, we're not hyping up one fucking catch they make. Not one of them.
No.
We're not looking at any of this game in real life. This is looked at as a tune-up game, and it should be, but instead it was a competitive football game and all that bullshit. And yes, when I saw the Travis catch, I was like, that's a great catch.
It was one of the best catches I've ever seen. Are you crazy? It's amazing.
No, it was phenomenal.
It's amazing.
It's NDSU. Who gives a shit?
But this is a team having celebrities pull up to watch you beat NDSU by 5.
Exactly.
Terrell Owens on the sideline.
T.O.'s training Travis Hunter and this receiver.
It's like, T.O. can be proud of Travis Hunter.
Agreed.
But the fact that y'all be like
I like T.O.
I want to believe that Deion wasn't like obviously
Deion's
happy.
shaking in his. Deion's afraid of what
No,
this team is.
I'm saying, and maybe he is. Maybe deep down
Well,
inside.
he's talking a little bit less about this team than he did last year.
Well, he obviously right after the game said he wasn't happy about that Hail Mary catch.
Well, no, he wasn't happy about anything that happened in this game because it shouldn't have been this close.
I would like to believe he's not happy at all.
I think he said that in his post game with the team.
I didn't watch his post.
Well, no, when there was a clip of him with the team, and he was like, "We got the win, but y'all got shit. This bad. We got shit to work on." But and they do because they're not even close to what a. But my problem is like you're taking a. I mean, we're looking at teams who have had 25 plus years of extended success, and then you come to this Colorado organization who has had no success, and you think that it's going to be a walk in the park because you got your dogs coming with you and all this shit. And it's like you might be better than Colorado from before, but you don't have the experience to have a top level college football team like in Alabama, like a Georgia, like any of these fucking top teams. But I'm assuming that he's afraid, and they're going to play some good teams this year, and I think things will be shown about this team.
And if people are going to make takes as hot as Shedeur is going to be the starting quarterback for the Cowboys next year, then okay, Colorado is not making the playoffs.
So what, bro's getting drafted 5th round?
So my take will be Colorado is not making the playoffs this season.
Yep.
That's my hot take. Is that a hot take? Is that a hot take? A team that just beat North Dakota State by 5 points. Is that a hot take to say they probably won't make the playoffs?
Even if they do in some miraculous fashion make the playoff, they probably don't deserve to be there.
Dude, they're gonna have 6 wins max. They're not.
They might get a bowl game.
Like
they didn't get a bowl game last year.
They didn't get a bowl game.
But back to Travis, it's like, go focus on being a receiver.
100%.
Rest your body up because, again, when you play a top-level college team or you play in the NFL, you're not running 150, whatever the fuck plays a game.
145 snaps or whatever it is.
You're not playing that many snaps because clearly last year we saw not only did he get injured, but we saw him lose steam because he's playing a fucking 140 snaps. Go have him be the best receiver on your team.
Also,
you got other DBs.
And also, is Shedeur a number 1 pick, or is he going to be the Cowboys quarterback? Because
that's what exactly. Because Dallas, all the Cowboys fans are going to be saying that they're going to win the Super Bowl, which would make them probably 32nd, and then they're also going to draft Shedeur Sanders first, because he's the first overall pick.
It's like I don't know.
Now, if he has a decent season, he'll probably be a 1st-round pick because of his name.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I mean, shit.
And honestly,
Shiloh's going to have a bad season and get drafted because of his name.
Agreed. But the thing about Colorado is that they kind of have like this. It's honestly probably a good thing for Shedeur because I think it hides his flaws. Because this team is not going to be what it's supposed to be. So for Shedeur, he can put this on the team and say that his O-line sucks, that there's this and there's that, and that like they weren't in contention because of their defense and whatever. And because they're lackluster, he will shine.
And it's like I'm watching him play, and I'm asking myself, like, is this a guy that I could see playing on Sunday tomorrow?
Here's the thing. We don't know because he's playing NDSU.
No, but my answer is no because he's struggling versus FCS defenses.
Agreed.
Like okay.
Now, it wasn't an overreaching struggle. It wasn't like overtly like you suck struggle, but it was more struggle than we would have seen out of a top quarterback.
I mean, there was a quarterback that came from an FCS school that was balling, and then apparently Nick Foles was better than him all of a sudden.
Exactly.
NDSU.
Trey Lance does not play NDSU. His brother fucked up a few times during that game with some not P.I., or whatever the fuck he was.
Shiloh?
No. Bryce Young's brother. Not Bryce Young's brother. Trey Lance's brother, Bryce Young. Bryce, Jesus fucking Christ. There's too many names. Bryce Lance, Trey Young. Not Trey Young.
Trey Young, holy shit. All right, it's fine. You know what?
Trey Lance's brother, Bryce Lance, yes. But no, I mean, the fact that an FCS, I mean, this is just for Colorado's defense, the fact that an FCS team and the NDSU quarterback looked very, like, there were so many holes. Cam Miller could have busted it open way more than he did. But yeah, throwing in Cole Payton was the dumbest thing and honestly lost them this game. There were, like, important snaps that went to this lefty jackass.
Yeah, super important snaps.
Like third quarter, fourth quarter important snaps.
I mean, I'm convinced. I mean, bro, the second half from plays, from how they played, who they put in, and when they put them in, and clock management, it was conspiracy level bad for North Dakota.
Agreed.
Conspiracy level bad.
Your guy made 4 incompletions the whole game and is running all over this defense. Who the fuck are you putting in that's going to run better or throw better than this fucking guy?
And I get it. Okay, timeouts are called and maybe whistles blow and you might be like, what the fuck? But 2 specific whistles were blown when that motherfucker was about to take off on Colorado's defense late in that game.
Who came?
Yeah, yeah.
Their quarterback?
Yes. It was fuck. There was one, there was a 4th and 1, which I want to say, fuck, did North Dakota take a timeout? Where he basically...
Yes, no. NDSU fucked it. They fucked it. So they called timeout.
Hurried up to the line.
They hurried up, ran a perfect play. He would have been fucking gone.
Sneak to shit, maybe even out to like the C gap. I mean, bro was
no, he was way out there. He would have been fucking gone. Now they did get the first down, but it was like a 7-8 yard pickup opposed to 30 whatever the fuck, because he was gone.
But there was a play before that too, where he took off and there was magically a whistle blowing. And I'm like, damn, that is super.
But no, NDS, like, their head coach fucked this game, putting in second string quarterback and calling that fucking timeout on that bullshit.
But it's hard to be. It's hard to just be honest and have truth and just. It's hard to be honest about how you actually feel about Colorado without seeming like a hater because of all the dick sucking online.
Agreed. And but we have to project so much of this. Like, we have to assume what Shedeur is going to play like against real teams. We have to, like, they are playing competitive. Like, this is the most competitive football that we'll see out of Colorado is against teams that aren't good.
It was a nail-biting finish, 5 yards different from being a different outcome. And
the same thing happened against Colorado State when he's doing this bullshit last year, and it was way too fucking close.
And they're pushing the narrative that he's starting in the NFL next season already.
And for the Cowboys, who are a playoff contending team.
Jerry Jones might not know who Shedeur is.
I don't think he cares. Dak Prescott came from where? Where'd that come from?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi fucking State.
Mississippi State.
What was he? He wasn't a first-round quarterback.
I might be.
I think he was 5th.
It was like 4th or 5th. Like
4th or 5th.
Bro, yeah, Jerry ain't picking a. This is a
Jerry doesn't play like that.
This is a stupid conversation. See how stupid this conversation is?
Exactly. No,
it's a dumb conversation.
Way stupid. But lastly, yes, this was a good game to watch. But if you had never watched college football before, if you'd never heard about anyone named Sanders before, you would think that this is a competitive FCS game.
Yes.
Like, if I don't watch a whole lot of college football, and I'm definitely not watching 2 unranked teams who I don't give a fuck about play.
Okay.
But if I watched 2 unranked teams play, I would probably still have the level of enjoyment of the football game. Mm-hmm. But if we look at Colorado like Colorado wants to be looked at, this is a terrible outcome for them.
Yeah, no, it's
fuck your win.
And
sure,
like you
you won.
said,
Congrats.
that's why there's so much projecting. That's why there's so many narratives being pushed already, because people are, while they can, they're going, look, see,
Exactly.
they're good.
They stopped talking about Colorado last year after they lost to Oregon. They got shit dicked by Oregon, and everyone shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen again this year.
But we did mention Jerry, and I do want to talk about Jerry because I want to talk about Dallas, and I want to ask you a question. You're Dallas.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Even if you're Dallas, you're not Dallas. If Dallas had to prioritize making a deal with one or the other, Dak or Micah, who should they prioritize?
Depends if they're getting Shedeur Sanders or not.
Shedeur got picked first overall.
Cool. It's a weird one. I mean they just gave it all to CD. CD is now a dollars maker. It's hard to get into the mind of Jerry because if we, like Jerry for what he wants out of his football team, which is a Super Bowl, has given Dak Prescott a lot of chances and been borderline with giving him a contract in general. They had franchise tagged him in the past and faltered on giving him money and waited and put him through all these things. And it's like, I don't know what his level of Dak needs to get to for him to get paid, because he's had lackluster seasons and missed the playoffs and then gotten paid. So I don't know where that gauge is because Jerry's an idiot.
I'm kind of glad you said that because that's exactly, I mean, that is exactly why I made this a topic, because of the quotes being completely twisted by the media.
Yeah.
Devin, I'll answer your question. I think Jerry is wholeheartedly set on keeping Dak as his quarterback.
No, I agree, but there was a whole process to getting there, and it's like in other organizations that want to win Super Bowls, that's not really going to be put up. Like that's not a marker of success that they had seen. But Jerry is incredibly hard to read, and it seems odd that he's rode with him for this long and might not ride with him later.
So, okay, so we'll get to who should be prioritized more, but I like what you bringing up, how Jerry truly feels about Dak, because so there was a quote that came out, and when you read it firsthand, right? Like, because even I, at first glance, I was like, what? Whoa, what? But when you read it, it's Jerry Jones. He says, so the quote is, you can easily say, if you haven't seen it by now, you haven't seen it. Jerry Jones on Dak Prescott. So when I read that, I was like, huh? But then when you listen to him, when you actually watch the video,
yeah.
I could just pull it up, but I mean, bro basically goes, so the question was something along the lines of like, what else do you need to see from Dak? And Jerry goes, if you haven't seen it, like he's saying like you,
yes.
me and you, if me or you haven't seen it from Dak, we won't yet. We won't. Then we probably won't see it. Like if we haven't seen it yet from Dak.
Yeah, but apparently what Jerry's seeing is worth it.
And then he went on a whole spiel about how he loves Dak and how he's like, I want, like there's no, like he doesn't.
Well, what Jerry's saying is that we would be stupid to think that he wouldn't be paid. But then when you look at it, it's like, Dak has struggled in important games, and there's reasons not to pay the guy.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as when he said, like, there's no urgency to sign CeeDee Lamb. People went, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's because, no, there's no urgency because it's happening.
Agreed.
So when he goes, I mean, if you haven't seen it from Dak, then you're probably not ever going to. People are like, holy shit.
And I'm assuming he's talking about people who think that Dak sucks.
Yeah, but then
he's
flips
the opposite.
But then he completely flips it into, but like, no, like obviously, like, yeah,
no, of course,
he's my quarterback. Like I want Dak Prescott to be my quarterback. And this is where I go into what you should prioritize more, because I think Micah. I don't know. How do you feel about Micah?
I don't know. I mean, there's what is he? A second-year player? Third-year player now?
Second or third?
Third. Whatever. Obviously, he's a
Going into
defensive.
his third?
I think so.
Okay.
Obviously, he's a defensive force. He's an incredible defense. What is he? The end.
Pass rusher.
Yeah, like a Von Miller type.
Mhm.
He's a beast. Now, when we look at how impactful, now we can keep Dak out of the conversation. If we look at just how impactful a quarterback is to a winning team versus a pass rusher, if you were to prioritize, I would go toward a good quarterback. Now, Dak could be that guy. Dak could not be that guy. Whatever it is. But if you can keep Micah, keep him. But I don't think there's going to be any pay cuts happening. That doesn't happen much in the NFL.
If I'm Dallas, Micah is a must.
Sure.
He is a must, and he is a priority. Dak is I mean, who else are we gonna get? You know.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. It's like, yeah, if you're gonna get somebody else,
every other top QB is locked. They're not going anywhere.
Basically, yeah.
They're never going to have the draft capital. They're not going to have the draft capital to go and get a top 5 QB in the draft or top 5.
And Jerry's not a tanker. Jerry's very cool with being decent at football.
Yeah, knocked out a second round every year for 20 years. I'll take it. That's Jerry. That's Jerry all the way.
That's success.
Micah is someone that they're going to be able to brand and live off of for another decade.
Sure, and yeah, future of the team.
It's an Aaron Donald situation. It's going to be someone they're going to be able to.
That is true.
It's the reason why Max Crosby is going to, if he wanted, he can do whatever he wants in Vegas.
Yeah,
and it's not going to matter because he is the Raiders. Like he is. It's and that's what it is for the Cowboys right now. You got Cowboys fans. It's like, who are they going to love the most? They're of Micah. That's going to be their guy.
Yeah,
and I think for Dak and why he's being kept, it's like we said, it's the best option.
Now, my thing with Dak, it's like Dak might bitch and complain about how much he's getting paid because everyone else in the league is being paid crazy amounts of money. But I'll tell you this: there's not one other football team in the league who's going to pay Dak more than Dallas will.
Fuck no.
So Dak should take whatever the fuck he can.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm looking at it basic wise. Like, obviously, a DN might not be the most impactful player on your team. But like you said, when we're looking at the brand of the Cowboys, he is a blue-blooded Cowboy. And basically the soul of their defense.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing.
Now, Diggs is great, but...
Well, that's the thing. We thought it was going to be Diggs.
Well... I mean, and that happens a lot. I'm big on the thing of, like, we can hype up DBs for whatever, but none of them are going to be at their pinnacle for shit more than 3 years. Josh Norman was out that bitch real fucking quick. Stephon Gilmore was out of that motherfucker real fucking quick. Like, you hit your peak as a DB, and then you fade real quick.
What about Jalen Ramsey?
Ramsey's been one to stay, but I don't think he's... at like he's not where we used to talk about him, at least hype wise.
No, you're right. Usually the top 5 corners in the league are the top 5, like, youngest, healthiest, quickest guys.
Or there's some older guy who's having a fucking non-characteristic season and playing like a dog.
His
it's
brain,
the mental.
Yeah. His IQ.
He didn't get too many concussions when he was young.
Yeah, last like good Richard Sherman year or whatever.
Exactly. But yeah, Sherman had his time and then he started knocking on doors. But yeah, no, Mike is he's going to be a force on this team, and yeah, again, future. But I honestly don't think they're going to have to pick between the two. I think both are going to get paid. And again, the way the NFL is now, everyone's getting paid.
Micah is there to stay. Dak is there to stay. They're both there to stay for two different reasons. And the media tried to make something out of nothing when Jerry said that shit. Because then there's another quote from Dak where Dak says, I stopped honestly listening to things Jerry Jones says to the media a long time ago. It doesn't really hold weight with me. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like him going, bro, like, y'all don't even know Jerry like that. Like, I don't even.
Agreed.
What he says to y'all,
he didn't say I don't listen to Jerry speak anymore. He said I don't listen to Jerry talk to the media.
Yeah, we be having way different conversations.
Yeah, this is a different world. Now at the same time, it's like we talk about the Cowboys a lot, obviously, and everyone does, but it's like clearly not. Like I don't think either of these three pieces alone, CD, Dak, and Micah, are not Super Bowl level, and obviously not Ezekiel Elliott. Getting Dalvin Cook is pretty cool. That's nice.
Oh yeah, there was reports that that's not nice at all. Actually,
I mean it's okay. It's not a fucking terrible pickup, but for your 1-2 punch, it's a little old.
Yeah, but see, your 1-2 punch is Zeke and Dalvin Cook.
It's a little old for your 1-2 punch.
Come on, I just saw.
And then to throw away Tony Pollard like he was a bag of bones. Whatever.
I saw a report today. Like Dallas is frustrated with how they handled their backfield this offseason. It's like
no shit.
It's like
you brought back a guy who hasn't had a good season in 6 years.
It's like y'all got rid of Zeke because he wasn't good anymore.
And you damn sure weren't going to pay him the way he wanted to be paid.
And now he's back. Like I don't know. Dallas did a lot.
It's like an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, but
you fail, and then you just go back to the old one.
That'll be one.
But this is the worst way possible.
That'll be one of the killers because, like I said, Mike is going to be there to stay. Dak's going to be there to stay. CD's there to stay. They have nothing.
The problem is the rest of the team.
They have nothing going on in that backfield.
No.
They might be the worst backfield in the NFL this season.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Do they have any other good receivers?
Wow, off the top of my head, I don't know why I can't think of anyone.
Also,
if
I were them, I would have bounced. Also, Zeke's their RB1 right now, and Cook is their RB3. So they don't have any other receivers.
Okay. Okay.
They have Brandon Cooks. And someone named Jalen Tolbert.
I didn't want to say Cooks, but okay, Brandon Cooks is still okay. I mean, there's definitely
that doesn't count as that's a wide receiver 4.
Well, no, your question was you said correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't have any other good receivers. No, you're right.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong at all. But
Brandon Cooks is good for what he is, which is a fairly good receiver. He's going to give you some yards here and there, but he's nothing crazy. Their defense is where they're slightly better, but still.
All right.
Marcus Lawrence is still in the league?
Yeah, Marcus Lawrence is still in the league. Before we get into some more college football and some other NFL moves, I saw this link, this conversation, and this question, and I want to ask you the same thing. The question was, what duo from the Olympic USA team would you want to see the most in the NBA?
Bron and Steph.
So I'm going to give you. They gave 3. They gave 3, and then I have some.
3.
They gave 3, and I have some.
Well, obviously there's a trio that's already a thing.
So there's the number 1 on here was what you just said, which is LeBron and Steph, which that's obvious. We all know that everybody would want to see that. We all know what it would be and how.
But at the same time, nobody wants to see that.
No, at this point it'd be okay. I'm okay with it. Like,
KD, I know, but here's the thing.
KD got to go play in his fucking prime with Steph, and you're telling me old LeBron and old Steph can't team up? And if they happen to bust the team's ass, it's like what? Y'all gonna be mad?
My thing is what if they fail?
Oh well, they're old.
But they're not that old. They're still prime.
But that's
they're old, but they're still.
What if they fail? Like,
I mean, I just don't want to see the hype for it.
That's what I'm saying, though. What's failing for Steph and LeBron?
Not winning the finals.
That's the thing, though. It's like, all right, they lose in the Western Conference Finals to the people that go on to win the finals. Oh, big fucking deal. I don't think that's a
Curry's already a lock till 2027. Just signed a $62 million extension.
That's like saying like Aaron Rodgers has to win a Super Bowl with the Jets. It's like, no, he can just have a respectable term with the Jets.
No, agreed.
And that can be
that. But yeah, we would have to see Bron go to the Warriors, which we won't see.
No, absolutely not. And then the second one on here, which I think a lot of people were talking about because I mean, it's just top two motherfuckers on the team. It's KD and Ant.
Yeah.
Which I mean, obviously that would be interesting, but I think it's more of just like how much they just, I don't know, liked each other. Like people are like, man, I want to see them play together. And it's like, yeah, no, it's like, would it be much nicer to watch Anthony Edwards play with someone like KD than like Cat?
Well, then offensive liabilities, which is the entire Timberwolves team.
Yes.
Someone who's not an offensive liability in Kevin Durant. Like, they have a squad of decent defensive players, and Ant's the guy who needs to drop 35 for them to win games.
And call me crazy, I think this duo would be harder to make than LeBron and Steph in terms of like getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to go to a new team.
KD's never living in Minnesota, and
no,
and
going nowhere. Is not going to get bounced to Phoenix,
and going nowhere no time soon. Now this next one, the final one for this website, they put Jokic and Bogdanovic.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
no,
when this question was
Jokic
asked,
is no.
When this question was asked, Devan, wasn't thinking about any. I wasn't thinking about the Serbian roster.
I wasn't thinking about any Serbians. I wasn't thinking about any French.
No, I wasn't.
Now, Jokic and someone from the USA team, Wemby and someone from the USA team, sure.
But that's not what they said. They said Bogdanovic.
How old is Bogdan?
I don't know, but he has the same name, first and last, just with a Vitch at the end.
Yes, Bogdanovic.
But I have a couple duos that I thought would have been a little interesting, and just in the hypothetical world. So we always talk about how maybe Bam is kind of an offensive liability when it comes to versatility, and
he's an offensive liability in general.
It'd be great to move him to the 4 if he could pick up some type of tag.
He could score.
But I mean, shit, if you tagged him up with someone like AD,
go get a 5.
And you had those two motherfuckers running
exactly
next to each other. Oh, it'd be beautiful.
Bam, like my problem with this Heat team is that not only do you have an undersized center, you have an undersized center who can't score like an undersized center.
Yes.
So go get a real 5 and have Bam still play good defense, but maybe have a 5 who can score like AD.
Yes. It would make up for a lot of the scoring that you want out of Bam. But at the same time, I still got to stand on the fact that you can't – I don't believe you can move Bam to the 4 because he's just not versatile enough.
Now, you can move him to a 4 defensively, but he needs to pick up. I mean, he's what, 6'9", so he can guard probably 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Maybe he can pick up and play better than a 7-footer against a little guard. But, I don't – he definitely needs to improve offensively. And, just the way that – I don't know. Miami's so stubborn about the way they do things. And obviously it's worked for them in past years, but they're gamers and they play good ball when it counts, but their team is not beast level.
What if you went taller and more versatile?
So that's what I was thinking, which is Anthony Davis.
Well, I was thinking a duo.
Joel Embiid.
Joel and KD.
Ooh, real tall.
Joel at 5 and KD at the 4 would be.
Well, KD's.
Well, it would be the most.
2 to 4, 2 to 5.
It would be 14 plus feet of just
monstrosity.
Chaos.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly, the way that they can run that team is like, if Joel doesn't have a shot in the paint, kick that bitch.
okay, here. So I put down another one like for fun. So this is KD and Joel. It's the same as if you put Drew and Steph. Like similar in a similar way where it's like you are
Sure.
getting like nothing past. Like offensively, you're not going to
Yeah.
stop Joel and KD.
No.
Defensively, you ain't getting shit past them.
Shit past Joel, sure.
I mean, if KD wanted to, he's not letting you.
No, agreed. But same thing with Steph. Like, you're gonna get a little less defensively out of Steph.
And you're gonna get
But
a little
Drew's
less
locked in.
offensively out of Drew. But if you're that
Agreed.
guard that has to guard Steph coming down
And get
then
guarded by
picked up
Drew.
by Drew coming back up, that'd be the
Trae
same
Young's
thing.
fucked.
It'd be the same thing where it's like if you got to guard KD and then when you go back down, you happen to be the motherfucker that's
You got to drop into
Joel's picking up.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like those are some duos.
Trae Young is fucked against a Steph Curry, Drew Holiday type of matchup.
Like the hype beast, like LeBron and Curry, that's cool. But when you really think about
when we're talking about like actual basketball, now, again, obviously LeBron and Curry would do well, but
you want to talk about just punishing a man's spirit?
Sure.
Or just crushing a man's spirit. That's something.
Yeah, if Joel and KD can share a ball well, it's scary.
But you know what this does all say to me, at least, like all these, the duo conversation and who we want to see with who and what it could be and what we could have from it. I think this just tells us that KD and Steph might be the best duo we ever saw and ever.
That was the best duo of all time. That was the only super team that truly worked, like the superest of super teams.
Well, okay, yeah.
Well, when we look at a team that could have had a vetoed team, and then one that's been successful. I mean, you're not going to get a better stretch of basketball. I mean, they 4-1 and 4-0'd the Cavs after like 2 years straight. It was inevitable. Like that team was going to win regardless. But because that matched up so well. Now we've looked at like players who are good and tried to put them on teams, and it just sometimes doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
Were you saying they're winning regardless if they did not pick up KD?
No, I'm saying when they picked up KD, it was a
okay. Well, yeah,
the way that team played together.
You take all the hate away. You take all the hating on KD for the move, and just and all the LeBron lovers that didn't want to see LeBron lose that many times. And you just look at what KD and Steph were able to do together as a duo,
and proved it.
And we talk about all these other duos we could see, we want to see. It's like we don't even have to say Steph and KD. We saw it, and honestly, it might be the best we've ever seen.
And it's probably it's the best you could come up with. We didn't say it in this because we've seen it before, but we would say it.
Oh, it would have been top of the list.
Because you're taking what?
I said it would have been top of the list.
Exactly, but you're taking. But the thing is, like on paper, it's supposed to work, and a lot of times it doesn't. But this worked incredibly fucking well, and it was a beautiful thing to see. It was obviously unfair.
Yes.
Barring injury. Once they got injured, it was very fair. But yeah, I mean, that's the best duo that we'll ever see, that will ever be. At least one that isn't like luckily homegrown. Like if someone home grows a Steph and KD type of duo, but we're not going to see trade like that, really.
I mean, their 73-9 team was basically homegrown.
That was a homegrown team.
Now,
their stars at least did.
Not adding KD the following season, though, I don't think they turn into the dynasty that they are.
I mean, that team was overtly gettable. We would have asked a lot more out of Clay. Maybe, Draymond would have been bounced a long time ago. Draymond should be on his knees for KD right now because Draymond doesn't have those other rings without KD, and he doesn't have a career that he's had without KD. Because, yeah, again, Draymond would have been bounced long before because of the amount of offense that team would have needed to stay where they were.
Yeah, and it's just like, Draymond can technically say, look at everything I've done, and that's pretty much been the catalyst for why he's still on the roster.
Agreed. I mean, but it's off the backs of everybody else. Now, Draymond was a part of
so.
these teams, and he has that forever. That he's got all these rings, and he was a part of this team. But by no means is he a reason that they've won a championship.
No.
And we can talk about intangibles all we want, but we don't live in an intangible world. Basketball is not an intangible game.
We don't live in it. Wow, what a bar. Sorry, you were just that we don't live in an intangible world. I didn't like what it
numbers.
Like you say
numbers.
You say that to Skip Bayless. What the fuck does he say to that?
Skip runs away.
You got him.
I mean, Skip would be screaming at me, but for a long time now.
Yeah, especially after the Cowboys conversation, he would have.
Oh, damn.
God, he would have shit all over.
What has your team done?
All right,
shut the fuck up.
My
team sucks too. We haven't won a championship since the '90s either.
We've had one topic that we have probably had for the last. It's been an ongoing running topic for the last 2-3 months, and it's finally settled. It's finally over. And I mean, it's not really a surprise. Brandon Aiyuk.
Yes.
Probably the last time I announced his name like that as a topic.
Yes.
But Brandon Aiyuk
has
again
300 yards. Yeah.
He gets an extension with the Niners. I for some reason don't know why I don't have the numbers written down. But it was a 4-year whatever.
120?
Fuck. He got his extension. He got it. I don't know if it's what he wanted or whatever. It's to the average.
He's making 30.
Yeah, to the average person, enough money. But
yeah, 120.
I mean, I guess my main thing is like if I just off the top of your head had to ask you, and you had to give an answer, like what does that mean? What does this mean for Brandon Aiyuk? In terms of, all right, you got your extension, all this drama, everything. Now what?
Yeah. I mean, now he has to perform. I mean, he's on a team that will require him to perform. The weird thing for me is, like, what was the delay?
How many teams were willing to work with San Fran to get Brandon Aiyuk?
Sure.
The Browns were offering the most money. The Steelers really wanted him, but
why request a trade? You're not going to make more than 30 anywhere else. Well, and if you do, you're not going to make the most in the league. You're not going to make 35 like Justin. You're not going to make 34 like CD.
I mean, that's we don't know. I don't know what.
Why request a trade? Either way, he has to perform. This San Fran team already has an incredible payroll, has the oldest roster in the league, has a quarterback who obviously has proven a lot of things, but again, we still have no idea. Yeah, for me, I don't like San Fran's team. I think it's, again, like an injury, maybe 2 away from being nothing.
But you asked, like, why ask for a trade? Now, can I pinpoint who started that reasoning? Like, I don't know if it was, did he hold out and then they went, all right, well, we're going to shop you and see? Was it, sure, I want to be traded? Because I don't think that's what it was. I think it was more of, like, I want my money, but if y'all don't want to give it to me, like, y'all can shop me. Trade. Like, y'all can shop me.
Y'all can shop me. Yeah, exactly.
And there were reasonings behind all the top teams. Cleveland, obviously, they were willing to give him a lot of money, and they had the players that they probably could have got that trade done. Obviously, with the Steelers, Mike Tomlin is probably the number one coach that a receiver wants to go play for. Sure. Jaden Daniels, there was that conversation about.
Well, that was all fucking elementary bullshit.
I mean, but there was a moment where he was posting Washington film, and he
I know.
screenshotting FaceTime with him.
He sat in on a call or a meeting. Jaden sat on a meeting with the 49ers. Not even on his fucking team.
Like, I think there was some real shit behind that.
But to me, it's all kind of bullshitty, whatever. And yeah, he's paid now. Same thing with CD. It's like you're gonna hear all this garbage or whatever, but now that you're paid, go out and play and perform, and that's that. Now, what's concerning is Jamar Chase.
Well, let's talk about Jamar in a second. But with Brandon Aiyuk, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Before this, I didn't look at him as a wide receiver 1 because he's not.
I mean, he is wide receiver 1
potential
on the setup of the 49ers. When we look at what Aiyuk is used for, it's used for generally some bigger plays and him extending plays and all that shit.
When we're saying like wide receiver 1, the top weapon on that offense.
Yeah. We're looking at...
He's neither of them.
Well, no. Obviously, Christian is the top weapon on that offense. Now, if we look at stats, Tebow doesn't have the same stats yards-wise, but we're looking at weaponry.
It's stats, though. You're talking solely stats. I think we know who the fuck Tebow is, and we really don't have to talk about it. But when you get to play next to Tebow, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey, and you get to play against a defense that has to worry about all of that.
Yeah, you're going to look pretty good. But my problem is we don't put Brandon Aiyuk in top 5 conversations.
That's what I'm saying. That's more what I was saying. He's not in these wide receiver 1 conversations.
No.
But he's pulling these wide receiver 1
But now
moves.
he's getting paid like one.
And now he's getting wide receiver 1 money. So
but the thing is, it's like San Fran is not deep. And because they're so brittle, honestly, it would probably be a bad move if they hadn't paid Aiyuk. Now, is he the best receiver? No, but I don't think San Fran needs the best receiver with the setup of this team.
I agree.
But they don't have depth.
I agree, and I think, but the question for like, what does this mean for Aiyuk? It's, because he's in these conversations now, he's, kicked the door down into these conversations.
Sure.
I mean, you got to do better than last year. You have to be one of the guys.
Drop your balls on the table.
One of the top guys.
Yeah.
You need to be so damn good next season that people double down on Brock Purdy being a game manager and he's only good because of his weapons. And it needs to be solely because of you. I just.
But I'll be the first to say that I want to see San Fran fail.
You're probably not the first.
No, clearly not the first. I want to be a one to say. But just to, I don't know, see where Brock's at, see where the rest of this team is at, see what the important factors are, because at a certain point, fairly soon, Brock Purdy's going to have to get paid, and I do not want to see him get paid $50-some million or even $40-some million and him suck dick.
Bro,
once he loses a certain player.
Bro, career-wise, he's already done more than Jordan Love. Let's just be real. He's getting paid ridiculous. He's getting
agreed.
Get paid
and it's kind of a shame that that we look at Brock and put him up there as a top quarterback when we know all and well that there are guys like Lamar Jackson who work with literal fractions of what San Fran has, and has produced 2 MVP seasons and multiple playoff runs in the AFC. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel.
I just don't like him in the breadth of these better quarterbacks.
But you brought up Jamar.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Jamar?
Well, Jamar hasn't been paid. Jamar apparently showed up to practice late, unclothed, or not wearing pads or anything. Not unclothed. That's That's an Antonio Brown situation, much different.
Yeah.
Do it on the shoulder. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bengals' success kind of rides on Jamar more so than Joe Burrow, in my opinion, and I think they better pay that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I see.
Because otherwise, he's working with who?
I'm shocked you said that because I think an episode or two ago you were saying. I mean, maybe you were more on the side of like maybe like the Jerry Jones vibe, where it was like there's no need to worry because they're gonna. Because I mean,
Yeah, no.
but
Now, once I thought the Aiyuk thing would go wrong and get done after Jamar. I felt that Jamar's was more of a locked in on Aiyuk because of how much shit we had been seeing about it and how much bullshit was happening. And obviously, CD was going to get paid, but it is weird that it has lasted this long and we got less than a week before the season starts.
I do feel like for some reason that Jamar is gonna have to play this season without an extension. Like, I don't know why I feel like Cincinnati's not gonna budge.
But it's like how, to me it's weird because it's like Jamar's obviously wide receiver one.
Mm-hmm.
Who's their other guy? Not who bounced? T. Higgins still or
T. Higgins?
T. Higgins. Their other guy bounced.
Tyler Boyd.
That Bengals offense, that Bengals defense, does not have enough to be a top AFC team, a top AFC North team without Jamar Chase as a threat. Even if he has an incredible season or not, he opens up doors for everybody else.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like the Aiyuk deal. I mean, the Jefferson deal, CeeDee Lamb. Now Aiyuk's getting paid. I do think Jamar will get paid.
Yeah.
But see, I know it sounds dumb. Like, well, if I do think he's gonna get paid, why don't I think Cincinnati's gonna budge? Because if they don't budge, and then something, God forbid, goes wrong this season, and Jamar, it's like, and he doesn't get paid. It's like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like Cincinnati, maybe they're gonna be a little more stingy, a little more. Because here's the thing. San Fran, I think deep down knows they have to keep the best talent around Brock Purdy.
Agreed.
I think deep down Cincinnati might want to be like, Joe Burrow can get it done with anybody.
But here's the thing.
He can get it done with whoever. He's Tom.
If they let Jamar slide at any point and then we look back at this and obviously Jamar will have a good career. I mean, there's no telling what is going to happen to Burrow, but more times than not, we see quarterbacks struggle without receiver talent, and we see receivers do well without perfect quarterback talent. So generally, we see, like, if Dak doesn't have CeeDee Lamb or if Dak doesn't have a top guy, he's not going to have a super crazy season. So more than not, we'll see a receiver succeed with a somewhat lackluster quarterback. But I have no basis for that. Not off the top of my head. But I think they're both obviously playing hardball. But in my opinion, I think they both need each other. I think the Bengals definitely need Jamar, and I think Jamar at this point should want to stay on this team.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, stay with the quarterback that I have beautiful chemistry with, and
and then I've played with since college.
Yeah, or go fucking restart.
It's a dream situation.
Yeah, and he's definitely in a dream situation.
I know that I'm not in the conversations of making $30-odd million a year, but what the fuck's $1 million? At that point.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the same. Like I get it.
How high are Ohio's taxes?
It's the same thing like the Brandon Aiyuk question. It's like, what are you gonna leave San Fran to go make $3 million more with what? Pittsburgh, New England.
Go look at Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
Devontae's not anywhere close.
He wanted to go play with his old college quarterback.
Yeah, that boy
would have been if he went to Washington.
Quick.
If he would have went to Washington, Brandon Aiyuk because he
wanted to play with his one of them would have left the year after because Derek Carr got ousted because he stunk. Now, like I said, we can have a good receiver with a lackluster quarterback. Devontae Adams has put up incredible numbers as a Raider, but the team sucks.
Yes.
And Derek Carr sucked.
Yes.
But Devontae led the league in receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, he did.
So
sign Jamar. Extend Jamar.
Please,
that's your
for their sake. Now, I would love to see that not. I would love to see the Bengals implode.
I know you would.
I would love to see Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase level talent, but
as a Raven, that'd be great. As a Raven
fan,
just
me as a hater.
Yeah, and I mean, as a Ravens fan, to not have to deal with Jamar, that'd be
pretty
sick.
Awesome. I mean, shit, maybe he goes to the Steelers. Gator
game. It's finally time to preview a Gator game. Obviously.
Sorry, cut you off. I heard Anthony Richardson speak. About being a freak of nature. And how in college he was able to be a freak of nature. And he was talking about the transition from college to the NFL and basically saying he was learning how to play football. He was saying that he was learning how to not just run around and not care about the outcome of games, where he needs to play real, true, situational, good, high-level football, which he hasn't done before. To me, it's weird to figure that out in the NFL because a lot of times college quarterbacks coming into the NFL, they have one thing, they know how to win. But it's weird to learn that later.
Yeah.
Because one of the guys, I think it was on the pivot, and I think Chandler called him a linebacker as a quarterback or a D end running around with the ball in your hand and not really giving a shit about how your games go.
I wouldn't. I mean,
not. I'm paraphrasing. I'm probably wrong there, but he did call him a defensive player with the ball in his hands.
No, I'm saying I disagree. Like, I think he's better than that.
No, agreed. I think he meant size-wise.
I thought you meant, like, size-wise, but also, like, just running around. Like, just
No, I mean, I think he meant size-wise, but obviously his stats are not of a top-tier quarterback.
Well, Bro has barely played in the NFL. Barely played in college.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean,
But he was drafted, what, 2? Fifth? Whatever the fuck.
Like 5th. But yeah, okay, so Gator game, you know, all these teams get warm-up games this week. Everybody, you know, the most hype school in college football gets to play an FCS school and gets fucking dick sucked after barely winning.
Yep.
And Florida has to take on the University of Miami.
Yep. The 19th ranked team in the nation. And this is by no means even close to their hardest football game this year.
No.
And it's their first game.
No.
Like this honestly is a tune-up game for the schedule that you guys have. This is probably a good game for you guys to play.
In terms of?
Like just prepping for what you'll see.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like because we're so fucked in terms of like opponents, we might as well start it off.
Why not
with
play
a tough
it now?
Opponent.
Yeah.
Like we start the year with Samford and then go play Miami. It's like, yeah, we might get fucked.
But yeah, I mean, but hey, maybe you guys catch like a Georgia Tech type of catching them off their game.
I'm gonna keep it simple. We're not Georgia Tech. We're an SEC school. We are better than that. Florida is a very, very big disappointment to me every season.
Of recent.
I'm not going to get myself too excited, get myself too hyped. I'm saying all this when I know at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, I'm going to be more lit than I've been in
the blue and orange.
Yeah. The orange and blue. And
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's okay. I think blue and orange is Boise State, but
Same
no, it's not
thing.
the same thing, Devin. It's not the same thing. Trust me. Trust me.
Why don't y'all have green
I
jerseys?
made that mistake when I was young. I don't know, but we're never bringing them back, so it's okay. Why do we
So,
have Why do
so
we
it's the
have
orange and
green
blue.
jerseys? Did you ask that question? Why?
Yeah, yeah.
It was supposed to be like gator skin.
Y'all did have green jerseys?
Did you not? Do you not remember our green uniforms?
No, I was asking why you guys don't.
No, we had a green. No, you remember them. When you'll see them, you're gonna see Felipe Franks in a green reptile skin uniform.
Oh yeah,
You don't
yeah,
remember them?
yeah. Well, no, I thought these were black. I couldn't remember, but no, I do remember these. These
Yeah,
were
they were brutal,
abhorrent.
and we got dog shitted on in those uniforms. So
Maybe that's why you guys are wearing just all
I
your.
mean, they were Ravens gold pants level bad.
I gotcha.
I mean, it was
But y'all, yeah,
really
y'all are
bad
just wearing home and away basically
all year. No
all
orange.
year.
We're really not busting out any orange or anything this season.
Not even a black.
But that's the thing. Let's not get too hyped. Let's not be too flashy. Let's not
Sure,
act like Colorado.
sure.
Let's know our place.
That's what
Let's
Oregon said last year, and they whooped them.
let's be humble. Let's understand that there are not much expectations for the University of Florida when it comes to football.
And honestly, it's like as bad as it'll be this year with the schedule that you guys have. If you guys have players who will be returning next year, I mean, this is obviously going to show where your game is bad. I don't know. I feel like there could be something good to pull from this, but there's going to be some games you guys are going to get diarrhea and all.
I'll say if we're a 7-win team, it's going to be a really fun season.
If you guys are a 7-win team, that's basically making the playoffs.
God damn.
Y'all should like. If you guys win 7, even 8, like
we win 8 games, we should make the playoffs.
Just based off strength of schedule
we have. Yes,
but
I agree.
Like Florida State, if they go undefeated, they're not. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs. But if they win every game out this year, they're not making the playoffs because strength of schedule sucks.
They might just because it's 12 teams, but
that is true. But yeah, if you guys win 8 fucking games,
we should. But see, that's the thing. Don't say that to me because that's not happening.
Sorry, my bad.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And all these analysts,
you got to think like me now, bro.
I've seen a lot of these conversations like, who's the one team we're gonna be wrong about, and everybody's like, man, them Gators. It's never easy playing in the swamp. Y'all motherfuckers need to stop this shit because every year it's, oh, Florida's trash. Florida sucks. Y'all, what the fuck? Y'all, Tim Tebow, wishing y'all had Tim Tebow back. Oh,
yeah.
And now it's, watch out because they're really under. No. We are going to hopefully hold our own versus the University of Miami in the swamp and catch a dub.
Mm-hmm.
If we do that,
it is in the swamp.
I'm gonna come back on Tuesday and I'm gonna talk my fucking shit. You know why? Because we're supposed to be bad. We're supposed to suck. We're supposed to be shitty. So, can I give an honest prediction? No. When it comes to college football, I really can't. When we talk to Ravens, I mean, shit, AFC Championship game, I said the Chiefs were winning.
I didn't think the Chiefs were going to win that game. But no.
But honestly, when it comes to the Gators, it could be 0-11 going into the Doak, playing Florida State, and they can be 11-0, and I'm gonna sit here and say Florida's winning. So, yeah, give me Florida versus Miami in the most biased prediction possible.
Now,
catching a dub.
Obviously, there have been some good things said about Graham Mertz. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he will start. Tim Tebow apparently said that he sees a lot of value in your 5-star DJ Lagway splitting reps with Graham Mertz.
Nope.
No?
I don't want that. I mean, you can split reps very thinly.
Sure, late in games.
We're not splitting reps with the game on the line.
We're definitely not splitting reps like NDSU.
If Graham Mertz is hot, if Graham Mertz is hot versus Georgia down 5, we're definitely not throwing DJ Lago at him to run around. No, I really, 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 really hope we don't do that.
Well, I mean, didn't Tebow split his freshman year?
See, I was about to say, if this
feels like,
what do you mean? But you're not talking a 50-50 split.
No.
Now, yes, if there are packages where you want to bring DJ in, where you think we're going to be able to score like Tebow freshman year, sure.
Yeah.
But by all means, this is Graham Mertz's team.
Sure.
And this needs to be his offense, and he needs to have full control. And he can't. He does not. I don't want him having to look over his shoulder like, oh, they're gonna put DJ in. Oh, Like, I need bro to have the utmost confidence possible.
Now, say halfway through the season, you'll trash. Do you go with the future of this team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If we're trash halfway through the year, I'm not worried about the draft stock for Graham Mertz.
Sure.
We got to start prepping our 5-star quarterback for next season.
Yeah.
And if he can get some reps in versus Georgia, Florida State, Texas, because we just suck at that point, I'll take it. I would love it. I'd love to see that. But if we are 6-2 going into a game, let's just have DJ watch from the side, and let's let Graham put on some type of great performance that led them to a 6-2 season. But other big college football games this weekend, Clemson versus Georgia. Mm-hmm. Clemson ranked 14, and then Georgia obviously ranked number 1, which is crazy that the team that won the Natty isn't number 1. But hey,
well, they're cheaters apparently, or whatever the fuck.
It's
also, Oklahoma beat Temple 51-3.
Yeah.
Utah beat Southern Utah 49-0. This is what we should be expecting from a Colorado.
And
Missouri beat Murray State 51-0.
And Florida gets Miami.
Florida gets Miami.
Florida gets a ranked Miami. That's great. But Clemson versus Georgia, I'm definitely going to watch that game.
Georgia obviously gets a big matchup week 1.
Yeah, no, that's a big old matchup. Notre Dame versus Texas A&M. Notre Dame 7th, A&M 20. That I think
Notre Dame 7.
That'll be that's going to be a good week 1 game to watch as well. And then I'm going to just say this. Boston College better not beat Florida State. Boston College better not
Ryan's
beat Florida State.
Matt Ryan's going to come out the woodwork.
I saw this Florida State fan. He said he will record himself eating dog shit if Boston College beats Florida State.
Perfect. How about this? If Boston College beats Florida State, they can't do this fucking chop anymore.
Nah, they're going to do that to those fuckers dislocate every joint.
They're racist.
No.
USC, LSU.
But I will say, I don't wish for many things. I don't ask for many things, and I'm not even asking or wishing for it. But because it was put on the table, I would love to see a Seminoles fan eat dog shit.
Dog shit.
willingly though, like willingly.
Willingly,
like, I will eat dog shit if we lose. Yeah. Okay.
Also,
fucking idiot.
There's fucking idiot.
That's a Seminole fan. That's
for sure.
If we lose, I'm gonna eat dog shit. I'm gonna record it. It's okay. Good luck finding a job. Like, what are you doing?
Dog shit for fun.
Oh my god.
An interesting game here that I think will allow us to have certain takes in the future. That is Colorado State versus number 4 Texas. Colorado State will be wiped the fuck out by Texas. Colorado has them week 3 or 4. So that's going to be our gauge for how good Colorado is without playing a top-ranked team.
So you have to blow the doors off of Colorado State.
Well, whatever Texas does to Colorado State, I would like to see something similar from Colorado, but we won't.
If they're these dogs that they're supposed to be.
If they're the dogs they're supposed to be, then yes. Then they should play to the level of number 4 Texas. But I doubt we'll see that. Michigan's number 9. That's weird. But I guess they lost a lot of guys.
So I don't know if you saw any of this, but I'm really confused. This do you know what's up with this like random Juju hype?
I mean, Juju's on the Chiefs again. I don't know what the hype is.
No, exactly. I don't know what the hype is either.
Juju's getting hyped for what?
Oh my God. Juju got re-signed. Obviously, Juju Smith-Schuster re-signs with the Chiefs, 1-year minimum deal. And I mean, there are just these takes, these narratives being pushed everywhere where it's like, the Chiefs did it again. Here they go. And
What?
Like, they picked up Juju. They're locked and loaded. And I'm just trying to figure this out. Juju Smith-Schuster a week ago was being talked about like a bum.
He was released from arguably the worst team in football.
He was trash.
We haven't talked about it. Gerard went with the dumbest pick of planet that he could have made. What the fuck is Brissett gonna do for your team?
Nothing.
Go fuck. If Drake May sucks, maybe we'll see it.
At least find
out. No one gives a fuck what Brissett does.
They're gonna
clearly this Patriots team isn't gonna win very many games, so I don't know what the fuck this is.
They'll throw Drake May in when they're like 0-7.
Whatever. Fuck that. But yeah, no, Juju had been dropped by the worst team.
And I thought he was trash. I thought it was over. I didn't think I thought he was garbage. And now all of a sudden, he is an answer. He's a weapon added to the Chiefs. And I'm trying to figure out now if it's people saying Patrick Mahomes is just that good, that Juju is enough. Juju being added to the Chiefs offense is enough.
But I don't think that's what they're saying.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But
if we're looking at Juju as Juju.
But like just because Juju Smith-Schuster signs with the Chiefs, the team that a lot of people are picking to win again, so they want to see win again, so they want to say we'll win again, so they want to give every reason for why they win again. So now Juju is a positive to a franchise.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense. We're talking about a team with one of the worst wide receiving cores in the league.
Yeah, and a guy, I don't know if he's been suspended yet, but will be suspended.
Oh, yeah.
Rashee Rice.
Yeah, Rashee definitely is. He's definitely going
impending doom.
With a suspension, but Juju's been shit on for years. Juju was shit on when he won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs.
No, he had a decent season with the Chiefs. He had 900 yards, which was their leading from a wide receiver. Obviously, Kelsey had more yards, but he got bounced quickly to the Patriots and had a horrendous season and barely played, and then was dropped. Cut, some might say. So, weird. They also cut the player that I would like to see on my team.
We're gonna get to that. That's a whole other.
I would love to pick him up for a bag of bones. Give me Kadarius.
We will talk about that. We will talk about that. Don't worry. That is a topic. We will talk about that. But I just don't understand because were people lying about Juju? Were people jumping on the trend to hate on Juju because of the TikTok shit and it was just easy to? And then he had a slump.
That TikTok shit's out the window.
Hold on, no. But what I'm saying is like then he had a slump, so then it was easy to hate on him, and then you pile on the hate, and everybody else just hops on the hate bandwagon. And now that he has a chance to be on a good team and play with a good quarterback, so you have to kind of backtrack what you said about Juju because he might not be as bad as you projected him to be. Or is Patrick Mahomes that good? Or is the wide receiver core for the Chiefs that depleted that Juju Smith being added is an upgrade? Regardless of how you feel about how good he is.
I think it's Juju. Shouldn't be hyped for being Juju because if he went to the Panthers, no one gives a shit. Honestly, if he went to any other team. If he went to the Cowboys, boo fucking who? Well, they're super depleted too, so never mind.
Wouldn't have been this hyped.
No, of course not. I think it is that the Chiefs are clearly depleted in the receiver room, but also the fact that, honestly, it's a bad look for Juju because Mahomes, if we're looking down this road, made him look good season that he did play for them. And can you really put it up to Juju at that point? Probably not. Yeah, Juju is a Chief.
Juju is a Chief.
I don't care.
I don't know how good Juju Smith-Schuster is because for a couple years now, I was convinced he was garbage. And I'm not just saying like by the media. It's like, no, like bro just hasn't been productive at all, period.
And the thing is, it's like maybe he's not he's not one of the worst receivers in the league, but from where we thought he would be when he was playing behind AB to where he has come in his career once AB left and he had nothing to pad him, he has not played anywhere near the level of football that he did the year that he was a Steeler.
Think about how long ago that felt.
That was probably 2018.
Juju Smith-Schuster was at his highest in terms of like.
I was correct. It was 2018.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowler. He had 1,400 yards. He has not touched 1,000 since. And the only year that he broke 800 was when he had 900 with the Chiefs. And now we can put that and say that that was Mahomes.
Okay. So Juju Smith-Schuster being added to the Chiefs and it being hyped is solely because people believe that Patrick Mahomes will be able to utilize him
also
the best.
Yeah, you were more correct when you said that he wasn't good.
He's not.
It's not that he never reached the potential where he was. It's that he was not good.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not good. That's why I'm confused. Yeah. Like if it's as simple as like
I think it's as simple as that they have nothing.
Mahomes is just gonna make it work.
Yes.
Okay, I guess, but we gotta stop this like Juju Smith-Schuster to the Chiefs. Here we go.
We shouldn't. Yeah, we're not confusing who the catalyst of this is.
I was a little confused. I was a little confused. Juju was getting hyped. He was getting hyped. And
it would be like if the Chiefs signed Claypool and started to hype him, who is a worse receiver than Juju Smith-Schuster.
But okay, notable roster cuts. There were some notable roster cuts. Every team obviously has a 53-man roster set now. But first person on the top of the list, you mentioned him when we were discussing Juju to the Chiefs, Kadarius Toney.
Yep.
Now, Kadarius Toney is kind of in a similar light in terms of like the rep he has, the bad reputation he has, how the light he's under. Here's the thing. There's two sides of this coin. Bro's a 2-time Super Bowl winning like wide receiver. Like
sure.
Had one of the best punt returns in a Super Bowl. Is good. Like
is incredibly talented.
Under that spotlight.
Yeah.
And just the balls he was dropping and the plays that he did fuck up. I think there was just no more. There was nothing left. It was just a really super toxic relationship between him and the Chiefs.
Well, this is it's just kind of naturally what happens. It's like he is in the situation where the most light is being shed on this team. Mm-hmm. Because they are the Chiefs. And they're also playing in a lot of games, at least last year, where games were very close last year. Drops are incredibly unacceptable. But I think he needs some time to figure this out because he's incredibly talented. Obviously a force once he does catch the ball. Shiftier than dog shit. But yeah, I think that he would perform well on a team that doesn't have a lot of expectations. Maybe like the Commanders. Maybe he can be a threat. Maybe he can be a little boost to Jaden Daniels. Also a team that doesn't have no expectations, but we'd like to see some excitement this year,
So Washington, I like.
I call him Jaden McDaniels again.
You might have. I like the hype for it. I'm really scared he's going to be a Steeler.
There are teams that he can go to and be a problem.
The Steelers.
someone teaches him how to use a jugs machine.
All the moves they were trying to make with Brandon Aiyuk and shit, other receivers we may not even know about. If there's
That
one
is true.
receiver,
The Browns.
if there's one coach that believes or thinks he can make a receiver work
Good.
and get the best out of a receiver.
Well, because he's good at it.
It's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want that as a Ravens fan. But for the pride, I'm gonna call it. That's gonna be my prediction. Kadarius Toney to the Steelers will be what I think will happen. But what I
think it's the last thing that you guys need.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not like too worried. Like I'm saying, like yeah, will it make them more competitive? Yes, but it's still like Russell Wilson.
I agreed there. I'm saying he's the last thing that your team would need. Like if you guys wanted another receiver.
Yes.
The last thing you need is a drop-prone receiver.
100%.
Now, citing, regardless, whatever. That's the last thing you guys need. You guys play important games.
Yes.
But yeah, he can definitely be a weapon to kind of like a borderline Steelers team, maybe a Browns team with, maybe on a team where he can sort of drop under the radar, not be a wide receiver 1 or 2, and be used specially. And when he does catch the ball, he can make moves. But he definitely still has value in the league. Like him getting released by the Chiefs isn't that crazy.
Yeah, I mean he will be at the least a return specialist somewhere.
I thought he would be a return specialist for the Chiefs because he's just that good. But
well, honestly, and it could be as deep as the Chiefs know he's more than that, and it's just not for them.
And just want to let him. Yeah, it's not. No, it's definitely not fair.
And maybe he even said like, "Y'all want me to just sit here and return punts, and I know I can go be more than that."
Yeah, but he has to prove that at some point.
But and I also think like fielding and catching punts is like difficult.
It's hard as fuck.
And the fact that he can like do that,
really
like 5-yard out route, just impossible for him to catch a ball. It's like I don't understand that. But
I mean, it could just be chalked up to the yips.
Bro might have returned more punts in Florida than caught balls the way we played. So
I don't
even know.
Yeah, that's true. He had a lot of practice.
Some other players that did get cut from some teams. Allen Robinson got cut by the Giants. He did. What I saw from that was though, it was you got the Giants who do suck. They had a receiver who has had 3 different seasons with 1,000 yards. But he's kind of just been in a rotating, like a rotating door. The last 3 years, he's been on 3 different teams.
Well, he was a Ram, no?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you're the Giants. Why not have a guy that has the potential of even getting close to 1,000 yards next to your star-studded, unretired number 1 Malik Neighbors?
Dog.
Like, it's like, why not?
Oh, you know what's? Oh no, never mind. Hold on.
What's that?
Well, it is very funny that they unretired a number. Never happened in the history of the NFL. Hopefully, he. I mean, it is retired by some old fucker. So.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's that deep.
Motherfucker joined the team in the 20s. I was gonna say he's gonna have to live up to that. You don't have to live up to shit. Give him the fucking number.
And it's also like they're not expecting him to do much with the quarterback throwing him the ball. So like,
but every once in a while, I see this fucking Danny Dimes bullshit hype, which I can't fucking stand. But this team is gonna suck.
When you have that much money into a quarterback, you almost have to like hype him up, or it's like you just look stupid.
Yeah, if Daniel Jones is worth $40 million and Brandon Aiyuk is worth $1,000 million, he's worth
if
$1 billion.
Jones is worth 40, and we're worth at least $1 million.
Yeah, we're worth
at least
a good $1 million.
We touch at least the 2 commas, at least.
Sure,
I mean, we're up, we're there.
DJ 40's it's a bag.
One guy didn't know he was on this team. Fucking Desmond Ridder got cut by Arizona. So his career.
I thought he got cut by the Falcons.
His career in the NFL might already be over, which was a blink. Fucking.
Well, from his. We could probably trace back the pod a few years, but after his first game, I said that he was one of the worst players in all of football. I don't know if you remember one of his first games. I think it was honestly his first game.
I don't. I need to go back and listen after.
Well, I think it was. I don't know. Maybe I talked about it. Maybe I didn't. I think it was against the Saints. He was a Falcon, and I'm pretty sure that he ran out the clock and then threw the ball out of bounds or walked out of bounds for the last play of the game. Like, did not make a play at the ball game. It was a one-score game. Could have made a play, wasted the clock, and then ended the play.
Why do I do not remember that?
I remember it because I got upset. Desmond Ridder never showed anything impressive after that. And yeah, maybe he's out of the league. Taylor Heineke found a team. I think he's a Charger.
Taylor Heineke found a team. He is he? I thought he was still
in Atlanta?
Yeah.
No, he's out. I think he's a Charger. I think he's hurt by his backup.
I thought he was back up in Atlanta still, but okay. Yeah, no. He is on a team. I just could not remember what team he was on. The Bills. The Bills, shockingly, after he had 100 yards in the final preseason game, they cut Frank Gore Jr.
Who cut Frank Gore Jr.?
Bills cut Frank Gore Jr.
The Bills cut. They are in no.
Now, okay. Fact check me. I believe he got picked up to their practice squad.
Frank should be on the team.
I believe he was signed to their practice squad, but
Frank should go sign with a real team.
Well, I mean, it's a climb.
Well, he played pretty well in the preseason. He is on the practice squad.
See, the same thing. The same thing with, it's like, look, we get it. He has the name, but we're not going to do this where it's like Shador is Deion's son and he still needs the ball. Bronny is LeBron's son and he's going to have the ball. Frank Gore's son.
Agreed, but my thing is, it's like, who are the Bills to say that he's not very good?
I mean, it's an NFL team with what's his name? He's definitely not better than
James Cook.
Yeah, James is the name I couldn't think of. James Cook.
Well, there's Dalvin and James. Yes. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe at some point we'll see him. He was the guy who. I mean, everyone knows him just for that video. He was like, "Grandma, chill." It's like, "Grandmama, chill out."
And then the Bills also. I just want to point this out because it's kind of funny when you think about it. They cut Gable Stevenson. So if you don't know who Gable Stevenson is, he is a former WWE superstar and also
Clark Gable.
And he's also a former Olympian wrestler. He's actually a 2-time gold medalist. And he wanted to attempt to come into the NFL and play for the Buffalo Bills as a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
that boy big.
Devan, I know we were going to try to avoid it for another 4 years, but I thought Olympians were like way better athletes than NFL players, and there was like no question.
Is this what this is?
I just thought.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
So, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I thought, like, if you were an Olympian athlete, according to like Noah Lyles, like there was no question. I mean, you got to think, bro was an Olympian wrestler, 2-time gold medalist.
Yes,
gold medalist.
More gold medals than
Noah Lyles. And he got cut. He did not make the cut. He got cut.
By the Bills.
An Olympian athlete, not good enough to play in the National Football League.
And you know how many other Olympians are in the National Football League?
So,
well, also, however many guys play on this flag football team, we can all chalk them down as Olympic gold medalists.
Easy, but we can easily do that. But I'm just saying, if you looked at the average D lineman and then you looked at the average Olympian wrestler, most people would probably say that the wrestler is more athletic and a better athlete. But then when you put him in the trenches in the NFL, it turns into a whole different story, Devan.
Yeah.
And that's
now the only guy that I can think of who did not play football and then came and played well in the NFL is Jordan Mailata. He was a rugby player or whatever. That dude's a fucking
I believe
huge
rugby
monster.
players can come into the NFL and play football.
Well, rugby bro who wanted to be a receiver got cut by the Chiefs too.
See, I believe like you could get a great fullback, running back, defensive fucking
offensive
player,
lineman,
linebacker.
like yeah.
Give me a fucking D lineman from rugby or something.
Not a skill position guy. You're not going to find a skill position guy you can hold on to. But apparently that guy was good, and they chopped him down.
But I'm just saying, when people want to throw the Olympian shit around and throw it in the NFL's face and act like it's just no competition, no question, let's really talk about it.
Yeah.
Olympians try to come to the NFL and it don't work.
Exactly.
And then the last one. Yeah. What were you gonna say? What were you?
Well, I'm just glad that flag football hasn't been a thing for a long time, and that flag football players like had played in the Olympics and the NFL wasn't allowed to, and now they're like, "Yo, we're coming for your jobs because we're Olympians." Like none of these guys on the flag football teams none of them are clearly good enough to play in the NFL.
But
Obviously,
that is a funny thing. None of these flag football guys are like saying they're going to come to the NFL. They're just saying, Pat, you're just not better than us at our sport.
Which is, like you've said before, a dumber version of their sport.
It's football light. And then the last player who got cut, but only momentarily, Tyler Huntley was released by the Browns. And I was confused because I was like, I kind of, that QB room was tough to me. You had Deshaun.
And if you're going to cut anybody, you're going to cut
Jameis and Tyler Huntley. I was like, I like that. But then Baltimore swooped in. Baltimore swooped in and said, you know what? We got a spot on the practice squad. We're gonna pull them up. Don't worry.
Of course.
We're going to pull them up.
Y'all got Snoop back?
Come on back. Because I think, honestly, I think he wanted to go venture out and do his thing. But we had his back. He got released. And here's the thing. As a Ravens fan, out of all the guys that are backing up Lamar Jackson right now, including Tyler Huntley, Lamar goes down. I've seen what Tyler Huntley can do. I want Tyler coming in.
Yes.
Tyler Huntley is listed as a Pro Bowl quarterback.
He is.
Ravens signed Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley. That was also that was how the headline read.
Also an undrafted. Yeah, that is funny. Also an undrafted guy, which is cool. Good for him. But very odd to me that they're going to cut Snoop and not Jameis Winston, who hasn't had a good season in God knows how long. What, for a fucking speech?
Yeah,
But at the same time, you have an injury-prone quarterback, and you're not going to take a guy who sat behind Lamar
and
has a similar style to both of these guys, and who can jump into any of these systems, and now you're going to jump in with Jameis because he's going to talk about going eating at CC's Pizzas.
And that's the beauty of the Ravens, Devan, is the best, the most we could do as of right now. Upgrade our backup quarterback. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Like, we're so locked right now. We're so locked in. It's like, what?
Y'all are bringing bro up.
Yeah. No question.
Your backup's Josh Johnson.
Yeah. No, I'm saying.
How the fuck is Josh Johnson still on a team?
I think Tyler wanted to explore.
Yeah, no, agreed. It is weird that they didn't immediately drop Josh Johnson, though, and then sign him to the regular team.
Yeah, I will give you that. Okay. So I'm going to say let's save our Final Jeopardy for next episode.
Sure. I mean, we've already done a pretty full.
Well, I do have one more topic.
Okay.
But because I have one more topic, I say we'll save the Sports Jeopardy.
Sure.
For it is going to be our final Sports Jeopardy. We'll save that for Monday.
Final one for till football's done.
Final one until we need it.
It's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while because even when football's over, if the NBA is hot.
I mean, we did a lot with the NBA.
We're gonna be all in the fucking NBA too. So we will save the Sports Jeopardy for next episode. But what I want to end this off with is a topic that I've been wanting to cover for the last couple of pods, And it's just another one of those articles that gives you one reason why. One reason why, Devin. And we've seen one reason why this, one reason why that. But this one is one reason why you shouldn't overlook every NBA team for next season. And I was like, damn. Because there's only like 8 teams I'm not overlooking.
Agreed.
So what the fuck?
What the fuck are we gonna say about the Detroit Pistons?
What could they possibly say about a lot of these teams? So let's just go
What
down
the fuck could you say about the Washington Wizards?
Let's see. Let's start it off. So one reason to not overlook every NBA team for next season. The Atlanta Hawks lineup versatility. So
okay, this is getting too complex that it's goofy.
Yes.
Like the NBA is not this complex.
It's not, but then they say pinpointing an exact direction for the Atlanta Hawks remains somewhat difficult. They have Trae Young and don't control their own first round pick again until 2029. Okay. So right off there, I'm overlooking there. Okay. We're gonna say
they don't have a first round pick until 2029.
Well, they don't have control of it, but so
they don't have one.
Basically, we're gonna go over each team. We're gonna say if we're gonna overlook them. I'm gonna overlook these fuckers.
I'm overlooking the Atlanta Hawks
all the way. The fact that we just talked about Trae Young possibly having a make or break,
but the fact that they lost a player and haven't gained anything.
Okay, now Boston Celtics, they are the rightful favorites to win it all again. Now I'm not overlooking the Celtics, but I do not think it's because they're favorited, and I don't think they should be the favorites.
No, and I don't. They're definitely not shoo-in as a repeat team.
No, not even shoo-in for the East.
No.
But I'm definitely not overlooking the Celtics. The reasoning, not sure, but 100%. Obviously, you're not going to overlook the Celtics for a plethora of reasons, not just one.
Did they give a reason or no?
That was the reason. They are the rightful favorites to win it all again. Because one of the sentences is because duh. Because duh. It would be far more challenging to come up with reasons we should overlook the Celtics. They don't exist. So yeah, these are some dick riding Celtics fans, I guess. The Brooklyn Nets.
Who made this?
You want to know who wrote this? Who made this? Dan Favale.
What organization?
Bleacher Report.
Got figured. I was borderline between CBS and Bleacher Report.
Brooklyn Nets tanking promises plenty of experimentation. We're overlooking the Brooklyn Nets. Because I don't even know what the fuck that means. Charlotte Hornets, they've quietly assembled a real rotation. So many. Okay, so the starters: LaMelo Ball, Josh Green, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams. Primary reserves: Seth Curry, Trey Mann, Cody Martin, a name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, Nick Richards, another name I'm not going to pronounce, and Grant Williams. Devin, can we overlook the Charlotte Hornets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we're expecting Brandon to be good. Obviously, LaMelo out there is going to be impactful.
Yeah, we're overlooking the Charlotte Hornets.
At best, they drop into the playoffs, but that's if they have a perfect season and Grant Williams becomes good at basketball. But
they got to be really, really, really good at basketball. They got to be really, really, really good at basketball.
Seth Curry's going to have to change his name.
Chicago Bulls. What if Lonzo Ball is actually healthy?
Don't care.
If Lonzo Ball is actually healthy, he will play basketball this season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Because I'm overlooking the Chicago Bulls as well. So what's that? So one team so far we haven't overlooked. I said
and they are the reigning champions.
I said 8. Let's see if we even get to 8. Let's see if we even get to 8 teams.
We'll probably be around 8.
Okay.
Now this is every team, correct?
This is every team. So how about the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah.
I'll give you the reason. The Big Four has not even close to peaked.
Ooh, I don't know if that's true. I think they may have peaked.
The Big Four being Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland. Now,
I mean, obviously Darius, Evan, and Jarrett are good players, but they have a peak and they may have hit it.
See that
Donovan maybe not.
That's the thing. Did the Cavs hit?
Like, how much better can Evan Mobley get? What the fuck else is Jared Allen going to do on a court that he hasn't done already?
See, now I think as a team, because you see, now you're breaking it down.
But no, this team isn't super scary.
Well,
even at full strength with all these guys, no, they haven't scared anybody.
I feel like it is in terms of if they have not peaked yet, if this big four have not peaked yet together, as a big 4, then yes, it could be a scary sight.
Sure, but I think their max potential is at the max Eastern Conference championship making.
See, and that's the thing, though. I think if we're talking about teams making it to conference championships, then
no, but that's to me a stretch.
I don't think they can be overlooked.
But that's to me a stretch.
To me, I think Donovan Mitchell is obviously fantastic, and he has a lot to work with around him.
Of course,
I think this falls into the not overlooking category.
But to me, this team feels like a Heat team where it's like they could luck out and play really good basketball toward the end of the season and in the playoffs and beat some teams that way. But
so, are you overlooking the Cavs?
I'm looking at them.
You can overlook them. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna overlook them. I'm gonna put them down for not. So that's 2 for me. The Dallas Mavericks. Now I'm gonna say I'm not overlooking them because it's Luka and Kyrie. They're gonna say because they improved their offense without compromising their defense. Okay, sure. If that's what they think, well, obviously the signing. So bringing in Thompson boosts an offense that needed more dynamic spacing and shooting. Putting him on the court besides Luka and Kyrie could create challenges at the other end, particularly during crunch time. Dallas is equipped to mitigate the downside with size, and the Mavs are huge. How they put it, huge. Doncic, Marshall, PJ Washington are all listed at 6'7". At 6'6", Clay remains someone who can be rolled out versus more stationary wings. Dante Exum at 6'5". Derek Lively 7'1". Daniel Gafford at 6'10". Yeah, I mean, I'm not overlooking Dallas, but more because of like the same, like with Boston, like because they're like running it back with their top guys.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas doesn't make the finals.
You wouldn't? No, I won't be surprised, and I also won't be surprised if it becomes a challenge to share the ball.
I agree.
I don't think.
When they first got Kyrie, it was already difficult for them to figure it out. Obviously, they figured it out, but Clay, I would like to see in a when it's needed type of role.
I don't think Clay gets as many touches or the right touches at the right time.
Yeah, he needs to be at the right time type of guy, and he needs to show up in those situations.
He's either going to get like I just feel like this could be a potential issue where he's getting shots at the wrong time or just not getting enough shots.
Yeah.
And that becomes a problem, whether it's him wanting more shots or just the team needing him to put up more shots. I don't know, but I'm obviously not going to overlook Dallas for more reasons than them just signing Klay Thompson.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Clay could be a boost, but this team has to mesh. Like, the utmost importance is them meshing well, the two of them, Kyrie and Luka, but also them employing and having their other role players step up. You can't just have Clay play all right and still expect to destroy teams. They have to have their other guys step the fuck up, and PJ's cool.
PJ's cool. So that's 3 teams that I guess I won't overlook. The Denver Nuggets, we're not even really gonna.
No.
Obviously, we're not overlooking the Denver Nuggets.
That's a team that's meshed.
A bunch of reasons, and I got to root for them this year because Russell Westbrook plays for them. So
you do, and Brody is gonna change that number up.
Well, I mean, he's changed his number before. It's not really that big of a deal. I think he's. I mean, is he not gonna? He's probably changing to 4 again. He was 4 for DC. So
He was, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, he won't be 0.
I don't think it's
Who's
definitely
0? He said
Brahman.
CB.
Chris Brahman,
Gotcha.
the white boy. Here you go, Devin. The Detroit Pistons. Actual floor spacing has arrived.
Overlooked.
Overlooked. The Golden State Warriors.
Not.
Their rotation should be deeper.
What does that mean?
Well, they went from Chris Paul and Klay Thompson to Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield, and DeAnthony Melton. So
not deep. I don't even know what DeAnthony Melton is. That's not deep at all.
Steph, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, DeAnthony Melton, Draymond Green. That's a Jonathan Kuminga. That's a fucking championship team if I've ever seen one. Devin.
Yeah, I'm overlooking the.
Yeah, I'm 100% overlooking them. The Houston Rockets.
Overlooking. Jalen Green is cool, but.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm over the Houston hype.
I don't think the hype was that big, but
Devin, it was huge.
Was it really?
The hype OKC's getting now, Houston was getting 2 years ago.
Almost.
It was close.
OKC has some big hype.
It was fucking close, dude.
The thing is, OKC deserves their hype.
Indiana Pacers, continuity can spur progress. Okay.
I don't think I'm overlooking the Pacers. I think that a full year with Siakam is going to be pretty cool. I think the fact that Siakam stayed is pretty big for them.
Yeah.
Because they were already a borderline playoff team without him.
I didn't expect him to stay.
No, I mean the whole time we were thinking that he was a half a year type of rental.
LA. I thought LA was gonna make a DeMar or a Siakam move, but they didn't do a goddamn thing.
LA hasn't done a damn thing but pick up Dalton Connect.
But I would have to agree, if I can't overlook the Cavs, I can't overlook the Pacers. I can't overlook them.
Yeah.
So I'll put them over at 5. Or I'll put that'll be give me 5.
And I think Tyrese will work through his kinks. Obviously, he had an incredible start to last season and then sort of faded out a bit, but I think he'll figure his game out a bit.
The LA Clippers.
They are.
This team should caps lock defend.
All right. Defense.
Okay, so the Cavs.
So any team Kawhi is on, they're just going to gas up defense for what reason?
So Kawhi is going to sit out for most of the year. James Harden is bringing no defense to the to the Clippers organization. Period.
Paul George is gone,
and they just extended Zubac, which is exactly who we wanted to get replaced. So yeah, overlooking them. The Los Angeles Lakers. I mean,
we can't overlook them, but they've had a ceiling in prior years, and they have done minimal this year to change where that ceiling is.
Now, they're saying the top of the roster is close. Now, me personally, and I feel like you as well, like you said, we can't overlook them, but I mean, it's like super, it's like the most obvious reason why you wouldn't overlook a team. It's because like LeBron James is on it.
James plays it. Yeah.
So like obviously you cannot overlook LeBron James and the chance that Anthony Davis plays a healthy season and the chance that when you like get the basketball passed to you by LeBron James like on the wing, you make the shot. You like make the shot. And if you make the shot, you might win. You might. So can't overlook them. That'll be 6 for me. The Memphis Grizzlies. I'm sorry. I love Ja as one of my favorite players right now, but absolutely not. I'm overlooking the Memphis Grizzlies for now.
Yeah. For now. I think down the line, I think Ja's going to have a great year this year. But there's not much else on that team.
Miami Heat. They're saying it's because contract year for Jimmy.
I'm overlooking them.
I'm overlooking them. Jimmy is my second.
Because I think last year, we saw who the team should be and where they should exit in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be lucky to be a impactful team in the playoffs this year.
Jimmy's one of my favorite players in the league.
I agree.
One of my favorite players of all time, but I think that it's about over in Miami.
But unless they get something, they're a lightning in a bottle type of team because they haven't gone out and gotten the pieces necessary.
They're not going to.
No, I know.
They're not. They're not going to. I think Pat Riley's over Jimmy Butler shit. I think if Jimmy Butler, I mean,
Well, Jimmy Butler. I mean, fuck Pat Riley.
If he wants to stay and get paid, sure. But I feel like there's a chance Jimmy's like, man, I need to go. I want to win.
No, yeah, agreed.
I want to win. Like,
but Jimmy also realizes that he has a shit ton of worth in this league, and a lot of Miami's success, say the majority of it, comes down to him.
But I'm gonna overlook them. I'm gonna overlook
Yeah.
them. I'm gonna overlook them. I won't overlook the Bucks. Last year's decline was overblown. This might be the first one I really agree with.
Sure.
I mean, we've been.
I don't know. I don't think it was overblown. I think it was definitely. No, it was a.
Bro, people were sitting there going, "See, you should have went to Miami."
That's true, but I think they just had a terrible second half of their season. Had a terrible playoff performance.
I mean, but injuries played a factor.
Injuries played a factor into it. I don't know if it was overblown. It was just more of like the worst possible.
Well, okay, I'm just saying.
Way to go about.
In terms of overblown, like, so what you're saying is, like, you just looked at the season from your perspective, and in your eyes, you don't think it was overblown. But what I'm saying is, like, when this move was made, when Dame went to Milwaukee, it was everybody wanted him to go to Miami. But everybody kind of also agreed that this is a winning move.
Yes.
Then when it panned out to be what it was,
then Doc Rivers comes into the team.
He should have went to Miami. See, I told you, and it basically they wrote this duo off.
Yeah.
That's a little exaggerated. I'm not. That's a little dramatic. It's a little.
No, that's fair.
We don't want to say overblown, okay, but it was a little.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any writing off this duo, especially after a full off season together. That we'll see, and hopefully a good meshing of this team. But yeah, they will be a force in the East. Also funny that we didn't even bring up JJ Redick's name because it is a non-factor when it comes to the LA Lakers. If anything, a bad thing.
So Milwaukee, that makes it 7 teams.
Also, we talked about JJ, and then all the N-word stuff happened, and then no one said anything about JJ.
Well, I think JJ and the Lakers were like, yeah, we're just not going to address this.
They addressed it, and then they're like, yeah, we're going to stop talking about this guy. Well, I mean, just in case something else happens.
It kind of quickly came and went, but,
Which is, but they also knew that was going to come out before they signed him.
Yeah. But Milwaukee, 7 teams we can't overlook. Minnesota Timberwolves.
We're not overlooking them.
We're not overlooking them for one reason. But they say they may have addressed their biggest issue. Counting on Rob Dillingham to improve a championship contender is a pretty big gamble. The Minnesota Timberwolves relinquished control of the 2030 swap and the 2031 first rounders to get him. And more immediately, rookies aren't known for successfully ferrying critical roles on really good teams. All this in mind, we must also acknowledge the counter scenario where the Timberwolves just solved their most glaring issue. All right, so they believe Rob Dillingham, the 19-year-old, will come in and save the day. I think Anthony Edwards just gets better, and the Timberwolves just get better, and that's just a reason to not overlook them. But 100%, I will say.
Yeah, we're definitely not putting that pressure on a 19-year-old rookie.
No,
and you don't need to on this team. But yeah, they have to be better, and I think Ant is still going to have to perform at the highest possible level for this team to be their best.
New Orleans Pelicans.
They're being overlooked.
They are sadly being overlooked because
my favorite player to watch is Zion.
I love DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte is a dog, but we don't know what we're going to get out of Zion play-wise or playing-wise. We know what he can do on the court. It's a matter of being on the court. But yeah, outside of DeJounte and Big Bro, do they still have BI?
For now.
Still have BI. So
For now.
The team has potential.
But considering Zion will probably have to miss as many games as Kawhi just feels like sitting out.
Yeah.
I gotta overlook them. you kind of have to at this point. I mean, why?
Yeah.
What? There'd be no reason to not.
I wish we did the same thing to Kawhi. I know Kawhi gets shit on for like not being injured when he sits out, but I think we should also shit on him for just being out that much in general if he was injured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's
same thing.
yes. Yeah. I think it's just Zion didn't have a really lucky shot versus Philly, and then have the team they were playing's best players tear an ACL
and then everyone forgets, but Siakam went dumb shit crazy in those playoffs and was a huge part of that team.
Now, can I have
and fucking shitty dick Fred VanVleet, who got paid a dick ton of money off that fucking team. That was a perfect scenario for a not super good best player in the league, Kawhi Leonard, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
Can I have my NBA team, my NBA hot take, or my whatever for this? Because I think I have it. I think the Knicks hit their ceiling.
I don't know where I stand on the Knicks, but I think that could be a possibility. Now, they did add other bro, Mikal Bridges. So now they have quite literally their entire Villanova team outside of Archie Diacono and fucking Chris Jenkins. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
they seem like a lightning in a bottle team. I think JB gets way too much hype.
But that's the thing. New York the Knicks just aren't used. They just aren't used to winning basketball. No. They started finally having some winning basketball. They make some noise in the playoffs, and now it's like, wait till next season, wait till what we're gonna do. Bro, I think they hit their ceiling. After the shit we've the comp we've already talked about in the East.
Yeah.
What do we do? If
also,
you think, go ahead.
Little JB is going to get figured out.
Yes.
Like if we think that
yes,
he's going to walk all over teams the way that he did, like the last few seasons that were the first time that we saw JB not with anybody, like he was a Maverick, got sent to the Knicks, and now he's starting his own team. But we can't sit here and say that this 6'2" guy who requires a lot of he's not an incredible shooter. He's not an incredible finisher. Like he has a balanced game, but we can't sit here like there's a ton of guys like that who have long careers.
He has a balanced
at
game.
That high level.
He has a balanced game. I think
when he came to the league, there was no shot that he was a one on any fucking team.
And leading the Knicks to a championship level caliber team.
Yes, they had a great season last year, but to me it was more of a lightning in a bottle type of sitch.
Like it's giving me like Cowboys vibes. Like it's just like y'all are so delusional.
Of course, this is fully Cowboys.
The Knicks fans are so delusional.
But yeah, Jalen Brunson should not be held at the standard that they believe him to be at.
I'm overlooking the New York Knicks.
I don't know if I'm overlooking them. I still think that they can be a playoff team just with the.
Okay, so I overlook the Knicks. You overlook the Cavs. So that'll be our swap.
Yeah.
So we're both at 7. You don't overlook the Knicks. I don't overlook the Cavs. How about the Thunder? Because their reason is because it might be the most complete team in the league.
I wouldn't go as far to say that.
Shai, Caruso, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet, top reserves, Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. Case. This is not the most complete team in the league.
They're a good team, but again, I think they need a lot to go right for this team to be really good. SGA had a borderline
MVP
season, but same time, also somewhat unexpected for him to play that well. So hopefully he continues it, but yeah, I don't know if they've reached their ceiling entirely, but they're somewhat close.
So the thing is, just it's overlooking for this season. So in terms of, and when I mean overlooking, I mean like, am I considering them a contender for next year? And when it comes to the Thunder, I think they are set up for the next, like 3 years down the line. They're going to be 2 or 3 years down the line. Like they are the top contenders.
Mm-hmm.
But because I just know deep down that they're still very young, and it's just my opinion, I do not think they will get it done, no matter how many regular season games they win. Does that mean I overlook them? Like I don't know what that means.
I don't think you overlook them, but I think that you overlook their expectations.
Okay, all right. So I won't overlook the Thunder as a team when it comes to the NBA season next year. But do I personally think that they're championship contenders for next season? Nah.
No.
Orlando Magic.
Can I talk about Brunson really quick?
What's up?
Who has ever been in contention for the most improved player 3 years in a row? How bad were you that you are now 3 years in a row most improved player? Like the season that he just had is so far better than all of his other seasons, and the season he had prior was so far better than all of his other seasons.
Is it bad?
The season before that.
Is it bad to keep getting most improved?
I know, but it's odd.
Like, is it not
and
bad?
It's also like,
at least it's solid proof that you're continuing to improve.
You are continuing to get better, but it's rare that we see someone start their career averaging 9 points and then 8 points and then 12 points and then 16 points and then 24 points and then 28 points and then go up from there and continue to get better.
That's why I think Jalen Brunson has a ceiling, and we saw it. We saw him hit that
I think
ceiling.
this is the ceiling, and now I'm way off the Knicks hype. Fuck all the Knicks.
I'm over it. Magic, I'm definitely overlooking them. How about the 76ers?
Not to be overlooked. I think Tyrese is going to have a better season than he did last year, and Joel needs to step his thing up. And
well, like I said,
is Tobias out? Where's Toby?
Wow, what are you talking about?
Is Tobias Harris still on the team or not?
Is Tobias Harris still a 76er?
Is that a dumb question?
I mean,
no, he's a Piston.
Yeah, that was like that was the reason for the Paul George thing.
I'm a fucking idiot. I forgot Paul George was a 76er. So yeah, I'm definitely not overlooking this team.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. It's now it's not all on Joel Embiid. We're expecting Tyrese to come out next season and have even a better year. Paul George brings a lot of pros and cons to the table.
Sure.
But you almost kind of have to just be okay with the negatives because of the positives that he does bring.
Yes.
But I will 100% say, you can't overlook a top MVP candidate, a rising star, and Paul George as the second or possible third option on this team.
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns, KD and Book. I mean,
Beal, where's Beal?
Bradley's still there.
I was already expecting this team to break up, but I can't overlook. Yeah, no, they're not winning the finals.
See, it's like the Thunder. Like I don't think they're winning the finals.
I think they'll be a playoff team.
But they can definitely like
they can win a series.
Like I won't be shocked if they're a top team next year. Mm-hmm. How about that? That's what I'm. So if that means I can't overlook them, I won't overlook them. Portland Trail Blazers absolutely getting overlooked. The Sacramento Kings.
They're such a weird team to me. It's like maybe they pull out and have a good year.
I mean, the Fox and DeRozan duo will be cool.
DeRozan's a king? Do I not pay attention to anything?
It's funny. We covered all this on the pod.
I bet we did.
Yeah,
I do think that I am losing memory.
We wanted DeRozan to go to the Lakers, or at least I did, and we wanted.
Oh, he went to another California team that no one wanted him to go to.
He went to SAC. Yes. But it's like, see, now we're getting to the point where it's like, All right. Are we not overlooking them because DeRozan? Like, no, we're overlooking the Sacramento Kings. Sure, DeRozan.
Yeah, but not by much.
DeMar could ball out. De'Aaron Fox and DeMar might have a fantastic year together next season, but in terms of like contenders, in terms of the second round of the playoffs, no, I gotta overlook them. I gotta overlook them. How about the Spurs?
Overlook.
Overlook. Paul George to the Spurs is the most hyped, gassed up, overrated move.
Who?
Sorry, Chris Paul.
Good.
Chris Paul to the Spurs is the most ridiculous, hyped 40-year-old point guard to go into play with Wemby. It's just not.
Yeah, we have to put an end to CP getting hyped up for anywhere he goes.
And it's this thing where it's like Chris Paul keeps going to these teams that like need a lot more.
Yeah,
he was not.
CP hasn't been the answer to.
I fucking said it. He was not the answer for Golden State, and I was telling everybody he's not the answer for Golden State, and it was obvious. And what happened? He left after a year, Devin. He left after a year to go help what? 20-year-old, 21-year-old Vic.
Yeah.
What the fuck's he gonna help him with?
Like it's like I don't know. I guess people have said it a bunch of ways, but it's like I don't know. It's putting a Band-Aid on a amputated
on a bullet wound.
Yeah,
putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
It's a little bit. It helps a little bit.
Toronto Raptors.
No, yeah, I didn't forgot they were a team. Fuck Canada, fuck Toronto, fuck the Raptors.
Another Utah Jazz.
No, not a chance.
I gotta overlook them. Oh, potentially frisky offense for the Washington Wizards.
Get the fuck out. That's the frisky.
They might have a
frisky. Yeah, we're a frisky team.
A potentially frisky offense. If we're being true to Washington Wizards direction, we should rework the Fuck.
Oh no.
If we're being true to the Wizards direction, we should rework the interpretation of counting out. To them, that likely means assuming they'll win more than 15 games.
15 games.
Holy shit.
They think our over-under is 15 and a half.
Okay, so they just told
14 and a half?
So Bleacher Report was basically like, all right, there's 29 teams you shouldn't overlook, but we have to say every team.
Fuck Bleacher Report. We are going to be bad, but don't put our over-under at 14.
Yeah, no, that's...
The fuck?
That is crazy. 14 wins for the Wizards. So what's the real over-under? Can we see the real?
I hope it's not 14 and a half.
Oh my god, if the over-under for the Wizards next year is 14 and a half, that is...
No, dog, we won 15 games last year. Holy fuck. We did what?
Wow. Yeah.
That shows you how much I pay attention to...
Well, no, I mean, like, obviously the Wizards were bad, but it's just for Bleacher Report to come out and be like, look, we just gave praise to all 29 teams. But to be completely honest with you, this team fucking sucks.
Like, we had, the second pick? Whatever pick we had. We picked Alex, whatever the fuck. And apparently he didn't have a very good...
We don't care about Summer League.
Showing.
Alex Sarr.
Yeah.
We
15 and 67. A 183 win percentage. What the fuck?
Nice. 183? What was that? What'd you just say?
The winning percentage was 0.183.
Oh, okay. You said 183.
I know.
183.
It's like when you talk about a batting average.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm not a baseball guy, but
should be.
I think
that was one.
I think that covers it all. We talked Dallas with Dak and Jerry and Micah and Olympic duos and Colorado getting the most hype ever after beating an FCS school. Brandon Aiyuk getting extended, the Gator game. Other big.
They beat an FCS school by 5.
By 5 yards as well.
Basically.
Random Juju Smith-Schuster hype. Every team, every reason to not look. One reason to not overlook every NBA team except the Wizards. And some noticeable roster cuts. Devin, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I think I said a lot.
You did.
Yeah. Dion will not be at Colorado next year.
Nope.
It's the family business.
We're out.
Moving somewhere else.
We're going to the NFL.
So yeah, they'll be somewhere else. And
Dion might get drafted again.
Dion will be drafted
wherever Shador goes.
Hopefully by the United States military, so he can get off the internet.
I don't.
I'm joking. Now I'm gonna get drafted.
Yeah,
Fuck.
now you're gonna look. Good job, dude. Dude, we're gonna have to fucking do this podcast. You're gonna be like in a bunker in the middle of nowhere. Just yeah, I don't know. Is there
Love
anything?
the military,
Is
but
there
I don't know if I want to be drafted.
I know I asked you, but is there anything else you want to say besides
support the troops, support our guys.
Sure, yeah. Well,
military for the win.
With all that being said, we will be back on Tuesday to predict Thursday night football, to talk some more NFL, some more NBA, and it will be the final episode before the NFL season officially kicks off. Brand new episodes every Saturday and Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out. I knew how important this was for our team. Our team, chill.